and so I figured, you know what? I'm wearing the tie,
You're
the
looking
beetle
good.
tie that the Duchess got me, and I figured I'll just keep wearing it. Why not?
Why is
It
there a
matches the hat
beetle? Why is there a beetle on your tie?
Yeah,
because
why?
it looks awesome. Why not? Nobody else has a beetle tie.
You're very
Funky,
dapper.
fresh. Yeah.
Dapper.
Dapper and weird. Like it's a combination of freakish
Yeah, it
and
is.
professional.
See, from the just the top of your neck, it looks kind of stylish, and then
Well,
we
it is
see
stylish.
the.
What
And
do
then
you
we
mean
see
kind
the.
of stylish?
Well, then we see the beetle.
And then it's super stylish.
Okay.
You're like, damn.
Keep telling
Who's got
yourself
styles
that,
on
Stan.
style? Really? You're gonna hate on my style
What?
now?
No,
Damn.
no. I'm
Well,
hating
what are you
on
talking
the.
about? Keep telling yourself that.
I'm hating on the weird beetle tie. That's all. Not you.
Why are you hating on the beetle tie? It's awesome.
No, I'm not too sure
It was a
about
gift
it.
from the Duchess.
I get
Well, you don't have
that.
to wear it. Damn. You are hating on my beetle tie then.
No. I'm just, it's just, yeah, it's cool.
You don't like the beetle tie. That's fine. You
Oh,
can not like
okay,
it.
Okay. I wish I'd never said anything now. Feeling awkward.
It's a good tie. I like this
It's a
tie.
good
I'm
tie.
very
We'll
happy.
go with a good
And
tie.
I get a lot of compliments on it when I wear it to school. So, haters gonna hate. That's all right. Whatever.
It's all right. I didn't say I hated it. Never said
know
the
you
word
didn't.
hate.
Yeah,
just
you
said
don't have to.
It's not
There's lots of ways to
particularly
hate.
me, you know?
That's not what you
Saying.
said. That's not what you said. Whatever. I don't want to discuss it. All right. Are we ready to start?
You ready, Chinny? Chinny? Has he died?
Let's start the
Yeah, I'm ready.
motherfucking show, bitch.
Okay, let's start this up. Here we go, people. Oh, come on. Beetle tie in the house. What?
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers.
Yeah,
Juju,
yeah,
Chinny, and the fellas will tell you about every single
It's
game
very
that you
strange
play this
what
week.
Eric
News,
picks,
reviews, and
like, as a
an
sound
indie
effect.
game. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelby. Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelbyville. Kiss my big Springfield behind Shelbyville.
It's the veteran gamer.
Ha ha!
Flip it about.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Aha, you burnt.
Hello and welcome to episode 620 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, 620. What's up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Yep.
Oh, God.
And that's Chinny.
Yeah, back to normal.
Wacky Chinny. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are not military veterans, people. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yeah, yep. He's still a diva.
Chinny's like doing one-word answers, I
He's
guess.
doing a diva.
No,
Chin.
I'm just
you all
getting
right,
things
Chinny?
ready in the background. I'm not all right,
Okay.
actually.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not
Oh, God.
okay.
Sick?
Oh, God, what's the matter?
What's up?
Just a mess.
Why?
I'm a-
Why? What's going on?
I got my allergies, man.
Oh,
jeez, I'm sorry.
I feel
shit.
awful.
It stinks.
Wow.
And now I have to talk to you two.
You're gonna feel even more awful.
So-
So we're gonna cheer you up.
You
We're
can
gonna cheer
imagine
you
my
up.
mood.
Yeah, it's gonna be better at the
Yeah.
end of this.
No, I've just come back from, well, I say just about 3 hours coming back from Manchester to see
Well, no wonder you feel miserable. I mean,
the new, I know,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
It's grim up north.
You're
Grim.
alright. You know what I mean? Everybody's so friendly and talking to you all the time. It's just exhausting. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
when
I
you go
can
down
imagine.
to when you go down to London, Duke, everybody just hates you. Everybody's rude
well,
to
yeah.
you. That's where it's at. Yeah. So we just saw our niece for a day,
Yay.
and yeah, played with her a little bit, and then we stopped over last night, and then this morning I woke up and I've just been sneezing all day and horrible, and I feel like
sorry.
my head is hurt, my face aches, and my jaw aches, and my nose doesn't
Damn.
stop running, and it's just the worst. It's horrible.
Oh, so what you're saying is stuff aches. Stuff aching.
Just my head. I
Yeah.
just want to replace my head. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm fine.
No, it's good.
Snack check.
Yeah.
I got the
do you
last
got?
remnants of my peanut chicky.
What?
Ooh,
The hell's a
Peanut
peanut
chicky.
chicky? What the
Well,
hell
it's
is that?
like-
some sort of peanut
It's got
bollocks.
peanuts and caramel, and it's like it's okay. It's not great. It's not bad.
It's a bit like peanut
It's like-
brittle. We call that
Yeah,
brittle.
pretty much. Right. I mean, that's what we call it too. But this was from an Indian store, so.
So it's
I guess that's
chicky.
what they call it.
Chicky
but
is
yeah,
brittle.
peanut chicky.
I don't
It's
have any
alright.
snacks. I had a bag of crisps before I started.
What kind of
Um,
crisps?
I had just ready salted, just the most vanilla fucking crisps you could get.
Yeah. yeah.
And now I've got a cup of tea and a cold drink. Tara
you
always
know-
thinks it's weird that sometimes I make a cold drink and a hot drink at the same time.
Same time.
To balance it out.
Sometimes I just, because I know I'm going to wait a little bit before I have the hot drink. She thinks
Yeah,
that's
I'll-
the most weirdest thing in the world.
I don't think it's weird because sometimes you just want something comforting like a hot drink and then something just to quench your thirst at the same time, don't you?
Kevlar wants
And you
to know if
can't
they're
you
Whoppers
can't gulp
chips.
you can't gulp a hot cup of tea,
Correct.
can you? Really?
I just want liquid, so I'm just like making liquid for myself.
There you go.
You know,
I don't think you're weird at
I
all.
got a little bit
Chinny.
of water
It's
left.
Fine.
Not too
It's
much.
fine.
I did. Stu, I do have a
What?
story
What?
for you.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say because I saw it on your Facebook story.
I
My
just-
know what you've been
favorite
doing.
time. It's story time.
Story time.
So this,
Ah,
I am holding
yeah.
in my hand
Yeah.
the scorecard
Yeah.
for. Yes, it was Walker's Crisps Gablar in the chat. The
There you go.
scorecard for Pit Pat Golf.
I know. I saw the picture and I'm like, pip pap.
In fourth place was Tara.
Oh, okay.
In third place was Shell, Pete's wife, my sister-in-law. In second place was me.
Oh, you didn't win,
Oh,
the
didn't
snooker
win.
boy. What is
I
going
didn't
on?
win. Pete won.
Wow.
Pit Pat Golf, for people that don't remember from 3 episodes back or whatever.
No, it's more than that.
Stu
Jesus, ages
Stu
ago.
basically told me about crazy golf but pool, which then I figured out was my life calling and figured this is basically what my
Pip-pap.
whole life has been leading up to. And
Ah.
then we found out that it was in Birmingham. Pete then booked it. It must have been before my birthday because he bought it for my birthday when we talked about it.
Oh.
And then
Okay.
and then we went out to Birmingham, played Pit Pat Golf. Honestly, Stu, we went to
Yeah.
a Korean restaurant.
Oh, okay.
No, not North Korean, because I think you actually eat people when you have a North Korean restaurant. But this
I
was
don't know about that.
Oh, you just
So-
don't eat anything. They just serve you empty plates.
no, they just serve a human corpse. Anyway,
Right.
but like because North Korea
Sounds a bit rough.
but
Yes.
well, not the people, the people that run it. Anyway, we're going
Yeah,
on
the
a
horrible
tangent.
It's a
people. the horrible
military
people.
dictatorship. You better be careful.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
controversial. You don't come
Um,
out against the North Korean government.
So I think I'm safe. Seth Rogen set him on fire.
Yeah,
right?
they
So-
don't listen. You don't listen to podcasts in North Korea. You're fine.
No, they
Well,
can't.
that's what you think.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
leaders are. I bet.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet all the leaders are massive fans of the veteran.
Kim
game.
Jong Un is way into the veteran
He
gamers.
loves
He
it, he
sends
loves
us emails every week.
He does,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went to a Korean
Anyway.
restaurant, and
Yes.
I'd been to a Korean restaurant before, and you probably heard of this, Stu. This is probably like, I've been there. all the time."
Not necessarily.
So the gimmick with this restaurant was like you cook your food in a broth. So you pick the flavor of broth.
Yeah, I've seen this before. I didn't realize it was Korean.
So
though. I
you
have seen
pick
this.
you pick your flavor of broth. That goes into a pot in the middle of the table that you're sitting on, right? You with
Yep.
me so far, Duke? Yeah, you just
We
sit
got
in-
you. Go ahead.
And then then they turn that on, and then they bring
Yeah.
out all the meats which are raw, and then you
Okay.
cook them yourself, right?
It's like fondue.
Sure, but
Yeah,
like,
with broth.
but
With
you
broth.
cook,
Have
but
you never
you're
had-
cooking it.
Well, but that's how you do meat fondue. Is that you put it in the? They have like a sizzling cauldron of oil. And
So
stuff.
what was I was like, okay, and then we were sort of joking like, oh, what's the chef doing back there,
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And then she comes out and goes, can you she didn't say it like this. Can you fucking hurry up and order it? She didn't say it like that.
She said it exactly like
She
that.
said, do
Yeah.
you mind
Fuck is
order,
your problem?
you might have to order in the next 10 minutes because the chef is leaving soon. I was like, what the fuck is he doing anyway?
Yeah, what's the fucking chef doing?
Yeah.
Cutting shit up.
Seasoning things.
Fuck
So,
that
so
chef.
he gave us guides.
Yeah.
So if you had meatballs, you would cook them in the broth for 5 minutes, and then if you had like
Yes.
we had really thin slices of beef and ham, and they would go in for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then bam.
So I'm going to ask a question. You know your broth.
yeah,
So was that over some sort of light or heat or something? Was it boiling when you put all
of
this
course it
stuff
was.
in it?
Of course it was.
Oh, I don't know. Do I? I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
Well, do you want me to? If
Was
I'm-
it tepid?
if you've got a story to tell in the background, I can get a video of it going.
Well,
Oh,
I'll tell you
okay.
what. I will talk about how I guess you call it pit pat golf. We call it putt
Pit-pat.
putt golf. But here's the
Pit-pat.
thing: if there's anybody out there who's ever seen Mr. Show, the David Cross and Bill Odenkirk, Bob Odenkirk sketch comedy show from back in the day, that's what I think of when I hear of Pit Pat, because they did a sketch once with a corporate logo named Pit Pat.
Systems, another helpful Globocam company. Take it from me, I love you.
Take it from Pit Pat. It's Pit Pat.
We have plans for an animated children's program, a breakfast cereal, a line of clothing, a video game.
Excuse me. You still haven't answered the question. The swearing, what about the swearing?
Please.
Every commercial is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Buy this fucking cheeseburger. And then Pit Pat comes on and goes, take it from me. I love you.
Oh, Pit Pat, you see? Pit Pat
Yeah,
gets
Pit
everywhere.
Pat. So there you go.
Prating
Another
about in the
global
chat
chem
says,
company.
what's the email for the podcast, Stuart?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy
Send
to
us an
remember. 'Cause
email at email.com.
It's literally just podcast at veterangamers.co.uk. That's really it. There you
Yeah.
go. Podcast at veterangamers.co.uk. So simple. Yeah, send us an email. We'll read it out live tonight. Just send it now.
You could also
right
put
now.
the email address into the chat if you wanted to.
Well,
Stu,
I couldn't be
That
arsed,
sounds like
to be
work.
honest. That sounds like I have to type stuff on the keyboard.
yeah, right.
I can't be doing it. I ain't got time for
Yeah.
that.
Anyway,
Oh.
Chinny, you got your video of this place?
No,
Yeah, have you got a video?
You're going to need another story in the background.
You got a
Oh,
video
all
of
right,
the
go
Pit-
ahead, Stu.
the Pit
Tell a
Pat?
story, Stu.
I did have something, but I can't remember what it is. That's my age. I'm
All right.
old. I'm
Well,
old these days.
in that case,
it might come to me while you're telling your story. Who knows?
okay, I'll tell a story. Here you go. You ready?
Go on, tell a story.
Okay, here we go. My
Hope
story
it's
is
a good one. Go.
it's an ad for the bag hutch.
What?
Bags, bags, bags. It always seems like you've got too many bags.
Help me.
You can't just throw them away. Now there's new Bag Hutch.
Bag hutch.
Bag Hutch is specially made for bags and holds up to 12 bags.
Honey, where are all the bags?
In the bag hutch.
Oh, shit.
Bag Hutch by Flitz, a division of Globocam. Take it from me, I love you.
Take
Wow.
it from me. I love you.
Is that really a thing? What the hell?
Bag
guessing
hutch.
that's
No, it's
another
from Mr. It's from
sketch
Mr. Show.
From Mr. Show.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, I gotta do something to kill the time.
That is Saul Goodman.
It is Saul Goodman. No, I
yeah,
know
it is Saul
Saul
Goodman, of
Goodman.
course.
Saul
Yeah.
Goodman. Hopefully he's well now, isn't he? Because he was ill. He had a
Yes,
heart
he
attack
was.
and stuff.
Yep.
Because I want to see the end of Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
so
that's
he
the
better fucking
reason.
Get
Yeah, that's
filming
the
it.
One of
reason.
us.
He
Yeah,
can die
hurry up and
after
get
he's
better so
finished.
that-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe you should write him a letter going, I hope
Yeah.
you're better because
Yeah.
I want the show to finish. Then after that, you can die.
Yeah, you can just die, have another heart attack or
It
whatever.
doesn't bother me.
I'm not care then. I don't care. I just want to see what happens.
We're
Actually,
gonna-
we sort of know
Can we
what
cut the
happened.
condescending crap and play the game?
Should we just move on and you'll show us this video
What?
later, Chinny?
Yeah, because this ain't happening. What are you doing?
This
I
is
thought
not happening.
Stu was- I
I'm
would-
all out of stories.
I was assuming that Stu would have a thrilling story about buying a
I
train
haven't-
ticket or something.
No
not this
stories.
week,
Don't
no.
push your
No
luck.
story
Let's
this
just talk
week.
about video games.
I haven't got no
Whoops.
story.
Oh, wait.
My
Oh,
favorite.
yeah, I like
Where are
that.
you going?
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What you been playing?
Puzzle games, huh? Take it from me. I love you. Now I gotta find that sound clip. But I did get this one. You're welcome, Chinny.
But she's got a new hat.
I want it. I want it. I want it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, who's going first this week? I went first last week, sort of.
Did you? I don't know. I
It's
can't
No,
even
I
on-
just
remember.
complained
it's on
about
the stream, by the
NeoCab.
way, now, the
Oh yeah, huh? Well, not yet, but it will be in a second.
should be.
Yeah.
Well, it's
who knew?
buffering apparently.
Oh, the connection is awful. So maybe it's something to
Okay.
do with that.
Great.
Yeah, I've seen
Well,
it.
you got an awful
buffering.
connection.
I'm getting buffer face here.
I don't know what to
Getting
do.
the
Okay.
buffer face.
Well, I'm just seeing the three of you.
I'll start. Seeing as
Go
you two are
ahead,
fucking
Chinny.
prattling
Stu,
about.
whatever your name is.
Yeah, whatever my name is.
Right.
Because I made a concerted effort this week to finish Resident Evil 4 in VR because I thought,
That does not sound like you finished it.
I know, well, I need to get this shit done. Then I
Yeah.
can talk about it on the show, you know, the end
Okay.
and all that, what I think, you know, as a, you know, Resident Evil game.
Sure.
But it didn't happen. It was so fucking close.
So
Oh,
close.
jeez.
I'm so fucking
close.
honestly, this God God honest truth, I must be the last chapter away from the end.
Yes.
So I'm on sort of like, I don't know, like level 5/3 or something. I don't know.
What? 5
Well,
stroke 3.
Yeah, because it's split
Like
into
5.3?
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
So it's like 5 levels, and then each level's got like 4 parts, I think, or whatever.
I love this loop of meatballs being dunked in.
I know,
the
yeah,
well.
there's a lot of meatballs
Great.
there. How many meatballs?
Anyway, you're
is
at
there?
5 stroke 3. Right, good. What's happening
Yeah.
in the story?
So, do you know, I can almost not remember being in the village anymore
Okay.
because I'm 16 hours in now. So that's 16 hours ago since
That's
I was
quite a
in the
bit.
village. This
So
is
you're talking to me, who I'm 43 hours into a video game right now.
yeah, you might be 43 hours in, but is that in VR where you've got it strapped to your
Yeah,
face
Chinny,
all
it's
the
not
time?
in VR, is it? Why don't
Yeah,
you
that's
shut
not
up,
fucking any
Chinny.
challenge.
God, shut your
God.
face.
Fucking
I
43
don't know why
my ass.
Stu's
Stick it
suddenly
up
so
your
angry
ass.
at Chinny. Everyone's just angry tonight. What the fuck?
So,
Fuck off.
I thought last week was the 2 angry gamers
Fuck off.
episode.
yeah.
This week is the shut your face.
Fuck
That's
off.
your episode name.
So,
Show the meatballs some more.
Fuck
So,
off.
okay, you got 87 hours. Go ahead.
so it's 16 hours in and I'm still not done,
Yeah,
right? I thought this
16,
game would be
oh.
like 13 hours, 12 hours, and I'd be done. And
Yeah.
I got to a bit, right? It does get harder towards the end, like all video games, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I got to a bit, and it was fucking rock, right? I literally used up everything I had, like nearly all my ammo, all my grenades, like
Yeah.
everything was fucking gone. I'm like, shit. Like, I got to a save point, and I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because I've hardly got anything left, and the next bit's going to be even harder because that bit were hard. But
Shit.
the game does give you stuff, so I'll give it its due. It obviously knows that you're going to use a lot of shit in the bit that
Yeah.
before that.
Very
and it does-
unusual for a video game to give you
I
lots of
know.
items before
yeah,
a boss.
But
Yeah,
well,
really.
New feature, I
Who would have
suppose.
thought?
here's the thing,
Gamers
though.
are getting weak.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing, Chinny.
I don't think I could have finished this game in normal mode because I'm playing on easy because I'm a wuss. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't fucking give a
We all-
shit.
we all
These
know.
games are notoriously difficult.
But it's still hard, even in
Well,
easy
I'm
mode.
sure it is.
And part of me wonders, right? And I don't know whether this is the case.
It's
whether
not. It's not.
Shut up.
Whatever you're gonna say, it's not.
Shut up. Yeah, part of me wonders whether this is the case that the enemies are of the same difficulty, but you just obviously can take a few more hits and there's more ammo drops.
Probably.
Because fuck me, some of them enemies are take so much fucking damage before they die.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, I'm still really enjoying it, and it is such a fucking good game. It really
Well, you know,
is.
it's funny, Stu. I just looked up howlongtobeat.com. Resident Evil 4. You ready?
Yeah.
16 hours.
Oh well, I'm over.
So you're
that
right
now.
around the corner. You're
I'm
just
yeah,
about
I'm
to do the
nearly
last
there
boss
now. I'm
fight, and
about-
you'll be all
yeah,
done.
I'm about 16.
Also, this
You have
playthrough on
committed-
YouTube is 9 hours long, and it's a full playthrough. So you're a massive
If you had
pussy.
committed more fully to the game, you'd be done by now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
the only thing I would say is coming towards the end, the checkpoints aren't quite as frequent. Because earlier in the game, there seemed to be more checkpoints. There's like, I got to a bit, and that's why I stopped playing. I got to a bit where it's like towards the end, it goes more because it's all like castle-y and sort of medieval looking at the beginning. But then as you get towards the end, it's more sort of labs and industrial, and you're on this island, and it's all like industrial stuff and big pipes and factory stuff and all that kind of jive. And there's a bit where I've got to, and I'm in this quite an open area, and I've got to. There's fucking just a shit ton of enemies, fucking loads of them. So I'm like killing all these enemies and killing all these enemies, and I thought I'd done right, and I'd got to where I needed to get to, and then fuck me if a fucking another shitload of enemies don't turn up, and there's fucking loads of them. I'm getting better at it because what I've realised playing Resident Evil, and I've never really done this in the normal game, and I've only kind of done it because it's in VR. I don't know why I've started doing this, but I've realised you can shoot the legs, which is a good way of.
Well, you
killing
realised that
people.
on last week's show.
Yeah, did I? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting him in the legs, letting them pile up, and then throwing a grenade on top, which works a treat.
Well,
That's
there you
all. That's a really good tactic when there's a lot of enemies. but they do overwhelm you in the end. You
What
know
I
mean?
imagine is
Oh,
when the zombies take over the real world, which they will,
yeah.
Stu will be like, "Don't worry, I've done this in VR.
Yeah,
What you
be
got to
right.
do is you got to shoot their leg, and then by the time he says legs, they've already eaten him."
No. You see, people have got this all wrong, right? I've watched The Walking Dead, and I think we talked about this before, but they don't wear the right gear
No.
because they're
No,
fucking walking around in shirts and jeans and shit, right?
They're so
Well, you're bound to
inconsiderate.
get frigging bitten, aren't you? You know what
Well,
you
yeah.
need is biker
Hazmat
leathers,
suit.
gloves, crash helmet. You've got to cover all that shit up. They walk around
The bomb
exposed.
suit that they wear
Or-
on Brooklyn
They're
Nine-Nine.
just mental.
Or what about the opposite? What about if you did what have you ever seen this film Bronson starring Tom Hardy?
Oh, I've heard of it.
So what
I've
he
heard of
does,
it.
and apparently this is true, was
Yeah.
he got naked and covered himself in baby oil, so it becomes very hard to grab. So that's what I would do. That would be my tactic. The zombies would be like, "Ugh," and they just slip
The
off.
zombies would be all horny. They'd be like, "Ooh, all right,
Yeah.
naked humans.
Get
Get the brains. Let's go for the
Can
crotch."
you get horny
naked.
zombies? I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Possible. We don't know. I've never met one.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to know these things?
You have met one.
I have who?
Yeah.
When?
You've been to Birmingham.
Oh, that is true.
Okay.
That is true. Yeah, I think this game is fucking good, and for 29 quid, it's a bargain in VR. And
It's 16 hours at least.
and I don't know whether this counts, right? But I'm reckoning this is going to be my top 3 games of the year, and I know it's old,
Damn.
right? I
Yes.
accept.
Came out a long time ago.
Yeah, I accept how old this
Well,
this is.
I think
But-
we've established in our end of year game of the year things that we don't give a shit about that stuff.
No, we don't.
Well,
And it did
no.
come out this year. It's come out this year.
It's a
this
new, but
particular-
Came out in
our-
2005.
Really?
dude.
Our
Really?
rule is whatever game you've enjoyed the most counts.
Yeah. No, I agree. Do
Yeah,
you know what
sure.
I'm quite excited about though? There's some dude on the internet, and they've like been putting out demos of this in action, but like a mod that converts any Resident Evil game into VR.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
it even works with Resident Evil Village. So it works with the most recent one. And you just layer this mod on top of the game and it just does the rest itself. And I'm quite excited. And there's been footage of Resident Evil 2 in VR, and I don't know whether I'd want, what's it called? Is it Nemesis or whatever it's called? The fucking
Mr.
horrible thing.
X.
Mr. X. It's Nemesis in 3, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, Mr. X chasing you around in VR is gonna be fucking scary as all hell.
Well, yeah.
Because the earlier games were this has got its jump moments, like jump scares, but it's not as tense. There's something very tense. I mean, they've added in. There's some of that stuff. I mean, there's some enemies in this game that fucking take a shit ton of damage before they die. So they're almost as hard as
How
Mr.
much?
X. Shit ton.
Jeez, it's a lot.
Fucking shit ton.
ton.
And you use all your ammo, but I've found when I come across one of them, just to run away is probably the best.
What's
tactic.
heavier? What's heavier, Stu? A ton of shit or a ton of feathers?
Oh well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. It's a hard one. I'm gonna go with they both weigh the same because it's a ton of feathers and a ton of shit.
No, it's a shit. It's a shit ton.
Yeah.
Duh. Shit is heavier than a shit is heavier than a feather. So
Yeah.
No, a ton of
logically-
feathers and a ton of shit is the same weight.
No,
No, they're not.
No.
Because shit tends to be heavier
Yeah.
per inch.
And also, it's shit.
That's shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if a ton of feathers landed on you, you'd be like, oh no, what?
Yeah, they just go all over.
They
the
would
top of
flutter
you.
away. I
They
mean,
would
they wouldn't
flutter
even
around
fall.
you.
If
Yeah.
a ton of
They
shit
wouldn't
landed on
fall
there, you'd be like,
Yeah, that would be
Exactly.
when you put it like that.
that would
I'm
be,
gonna agree.
Stu,
I'm gonna agree.
I would call a bad day.
It would be a bad day
Yeah.
if a ton of shit fell on me.
I agree.
But yeah, look, I recommend anyone who's got VR. And I know we don't like to buy games these days because we've got Game Pass and all that bollocks, right?
No one buys games.
No one fucking
I
buys
haven't bought games.
Who buys a fucking game?
15 years.
But yes,
I don't
if
even
you've
play 'em.
got, I know who plays a game. If you've got a Quest 2 and you want to know what's the best game to play on the Quest 2 at the moment without a PC, because
And
there
it
is
seems like the answer is poker, doesn't it?
The answer is poker or Resident Evil 4 VR.
Or
Either
Resident
of those
Evil 4.
games are great.
Why are
to
you
be fair.
killing priests in Resident Evil 4 now?
You kill everybody. Just kill anything that comes out. You just kill them, stab them in the face.
Right.
Not a
Stick your
priest. He's
sword
like holy
in
man.
their eyes. But yeah, it's good.
He's especially
It's
holy
really
after
good.
you hit him with a shotgun. Ayo!
There he is.
Because he's holy. He's got holes in him.
No.
Yeah.
I don't get
It's a
it.
good game. It's a good game anyway. Give it a go.
Cool.
Chinny, I definitely think you should play this. And I know you're a bit of a VR, can't be bothered or whatever.
Correct.
I know that
As
sounds
you should
just
be,
like
as
it.
everyone
Sounds
who's
just like it.
smart is.
But this game is fucking so good.
Well,
So there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
take the VR round for the Christmas holidays for like to the family. And
Oh,
I
okay.
think nothing will bring the family together than a horrible, scary game
Yeah, Resident Evil 4.
of Resident Evil
I
4.
think you
Let's
should
hope
definitely
so.
do that. It isn't. I mean, like I was saying, it's not the scariest game. You see, I fought that bloody thing in the cage. I didn't realize you could break out until like at the end after I killed it inside the cage.
Break out.
So I was just stupid.
It seems like you make a lot of stupid decisions making. this.
Well, you're in a bloody cage. Why would I think that I could kick the door down?
It'd
What
be
did
the
you- what
first
would
Because
thing.
I'll be
try.
honest. I'll be honest.
That's
When
what
I
I would do
actually
if I were in a cage.
when I actually killed the thing, I was like, "How do I get out of here?"
It would be the first thing I'd try.
Well,
Despite
that's
all
just
my
you.
rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
What are you on
It's
your
good.
way to a dick meeting?
Dick me.
You're hearing him break out, yeah.
Take it for what it is, but it's good fun.
Yes.
Totally awesome.
Yes, Duke.
Get it played. That's it for me. So over to you, Chinny. There you go.
Well, it might surprise you that I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda.
It does. I am surprised.
Good.
I cannot contain my shock.
So,
Yeah.
well, I'll sort of try and tell you.
Also, it's windy as hell here at Chipmunk Hill. There's leaves flying
I'll be
everywhere.
I'll be honest, Chinny. I am surprised. I was expecting you to say Far Cry 6, if I'm being honest,
Why?
because you played a bit of that, haven't you?
You seem not to
Little
hate
bit.
Far Cry
Marsh.
6 the same way you seem to hate
Yeah,
Mass Effect.
Yeah, but I
have to
Andromeda.
play that
Although
with
last
Marsh.
week you
Well, how do I-
said,
How do I
"Oh,
know
that's
you're
right,
not
you're
being-
doing a co-op." But
Yeah, but
you
you
said
might,
last
man.
week that you were
Yeah.
enjoying Mass Effect Andromeda a little bit. So,
Correct.
or is
Yeah,
that still true?
That is true. That is true.
Correct.
Is that
Does
still
Does
the
that continue
case?
to be the case?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't know what's happened.
I think
With you.
like I've started to just realise that this game is stupid as fuck. So
If you drop your expectations,
I
then
have,
maybe you'll
yeah,
have more
I
fun
have
with it, yeah.
a lot.
Makes sense.
Which is what Tara did when she met me.
Yeah.
So basically, I kind of forgot where I was last week, but
Doing Sudoku puzzles.
That's
yeah,
right. You were doing
there's a lot of that.
Sudoku puzzles.
There's-
Loads of
you still
those.
do that. So there's
Yeah.
so basically you go. I went on a planet that I hadn't been on, which was available from the start, which is this foresty
Yes.
planet,
Endor.
sort of. But most planets that you go on are I'm going to see if I can find an example of this planet. But most planets that you go on, you can go on the Mako. You know, like whatever the
Right.
Mako is called in this fucking game. It's not
Yeah.
called the Mako. It's called something else. But whatever.
All-terrain vehicle.
Yeah, so you can go on the Mako, but this planet you can only walk around. It's only a small planet.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, fine. So I'm walking around it, and you're just solving everybody's fucking problems on this planet. Like,
Well, yeah.
so there's these.
Isn't that every RPG though?
So there's these like in the game. There's these monoliths that have been there thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And what you've been doing in the game is activating 3 of them. So you activate 3, and then that heals the planet for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah, it heals the planet, and what's cute?
Healing the planet.
Yeah,
You're such a nice
Oh.
person, Chinny. Who
no,
knew?
yeah. So I'm healing the planet. Anyway, I go on this forest one, and this forest planet is a bit different. This forest planet has 3 monoliths, but 2 of them are already active. So you go on the planet, and you're like, "What is this? So many active monoliths. Why have you not activated the 3rd one? Like, where is it?" All right, I've been watching a lot of
Okay.
Staff Let's Flats.
Do you know what? I was just about to say that sounds like Staff Let's Flats.
So I was like, where is the third one? Oh my god, like, why don't you just like totally switch it on, right? And they're Greek Cypriot.
It's so funny.
Duke. That's why they talk like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I go on. I talk around and I say, what is it, man? There's a third monolith. Switch it on. And they're like, we cannot fucking find it anywhere. Honestly, we have looked.
They're very small, these monoliths.
So
tiny.
far. Well, this one's underground, you see.
Oh, I got you. Okay, fair enough.
So they're like, we have bloody trekked everywhere. Everywhere. All right. And it would really help us if you switched it on for us. And I'm like, well, I'll have a look. I mean, but the chances of me finding... Oh, here it is. It's literally behind, like, a rock or something. And it had to get activated by some memory of someone.
Yeah.
And no one could re-jog this guy's memory. And then I went down into, like, a cave and, like, found a dagger. Or, no, a gauntlet.
Right.
I found a gauntlet and this guy was like, oh, I remember now. Yeah, no, it's behind that fucking rock. So anyway, you find this fucking thing and you activate that planet. And now I'm on a big deserty planet, which is where all the Krogans hang out.
Tatooine.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
They've just ripped off Star Wars. That's all they've done in this
Pretty
game.
much. Well, I mean, it's hard to do science fiction without ripping off Star Wars.
And also, Mass Effect was made by BioWare.
What, George Lucas?
No, by BioWare, who their last game was Star Wars. So
there you go.
Anyway, so anyway, you go on this planet, right? It's like this is where all the Krogans have been hiding out. So when you land, who do you expect to see? Stu.
A Krogan.
Right. There's a fucking like human there.
What?
Right. It's like this is the planet where all the Krogans are living. This is the planet. You land there. There's about 3 humans just chilling out, going, "Oh, how you doing? You alright? Yeah." Just to let you know, it's fucking warm on this planet. Just to let you know. So the Krogans live over there. We are just fucking doing nothing, standing here. I don't know what we're doing really. And I've just have a nice time. Just have a nice time. Get a tan. Do you know what I mean? Go nuts. And that's basically the planet. And I'm like, why are they there? Like, there's just weird, like, this game has a lot of weird, like, moments where you come across these new aliens, the squid people, right? And you've never seen them before. They've never seen anything else. And then look, that was it. I do a side mission, and this one human has got a load of squid people working for him. I was like, he recruited them pretty quickly, didn't he? So, like, it's just full of, like, why are those people hanging out with those people? Why are those squid people there? None of it makes any sense. But I'm still having fun with it, even though it's janky as hell. So
it just doesn't make sense.
I'm on the Krogan desert planet at the moment, and that's what I'm doing. And there are nice details though. Look, there's like sandy dust on their armor and stuff when you get close. So there are some nice little details. There's some nice things about these.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It is well, but at the same time, it can be quite bad. But yeah, it's fine. My opinion hasn't changed from last week. It's just my expectations have been dropped quite a lot in the last few weeks about it.
I see. Well, it's leveled out.
Yeah, I just think it's not bad. It's just one of them. But I feel like I've been told I'm about halfway.
What?
So I know.
Damn.
Yeah, wait a minute. Whoa. Didn't you say he was about 40 hours in?
Yeah.
So they're talking 80 hours to finish the game.
Because he's dicking around. He's not doing the main thing.
Good God.
Yeah.
I can't know. That man, like, Mass Effect's only about 30, isn't it? 35, and as are the other 2 games.
Yeah.
No. How
long's The Witcher? Sure.
Oh, I played that for about 150 hours or something.
How long's Skyrim, Duke?
7,000 hours.
Yeah, for
It
Duke
never
it is.
ends. It's infinity hours.
Infinity hours and
Yeah.
beyond.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't be doing me games that long anymore.
No.
They're just
So when
too...
Witcher 4 comes out, you're not going to play it?
Oh, I don't know. I played Cyberpunk, didn't I? But I managed to finish that in about 30 hours, so we're done.
Yeah.
And I was so glad I was done. And I was
think
so
you
actually,
were one of the very few people that did finish it. To be
it's
fair.
quite possible. And I was
Yeah, really.
relieved to get to the end without having some sort of game breaking bug to stop me from getting to the end.
Yeah.
Because that honestly, that the last bit of that game, I was just like, am I going to get to the end of another mission when it doesn't then just trigger the next
I am
bit?
taking my time, to be fair, and I'm clearing out the planets as I land on them. So I mean, this guy here who I'm watching on YouTube, he's landed on this planet before he's landed on 2 other planets that I have already landed on.
Right.
So I mean, you know, when Jamie at work tells me I'm halfway through, he could be sort of wrong.
Yeah, you see. But you have got the bug now. I can tell. I can just tell you've got the bug.
Yeah, I'm interested in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
weird.
all right. Yeah. I suppose the problem with the game is that it has so many systems to learn, so much language that you just don't know what's going on, and all the characters are dumb and stupid, and it's just not as good as the main Mass Effect. But once you sort of get over it, it's not a bad game. So, and then once you learn the systems, it's also not too bad. Like I don't really know the systems now. I just click A on everything and hope for the best. And
Yeah, it usually works. To be
usually
fair.
works, yeah. And you can auto level all your characters, so I don't even bother leveling them up properly. I just like auto level them up.
I think I started doing that as soon as I really got into it at all.
I literally just couldn't care like what powers they have. I'm just like whatever. Just as long as they're
give them some shit to do.
Just give them some shit. And I can tell that like the way I play it is I'm clearing things out like very sort of OCD like, which means all my guns and my XP on my characters like really strong because I just batter some. Like I get a boss and it's like, finally you'll. Okay, what's next?
Yeah, also like flick him away.
Yeah, I just flick
Don't
him
even
away.
need to bother.
Yeah, I just a human landing on this galaxy, and everybody thinks they're fucking hard as nuts, and I'm just chilling. But there's loads of jank things in the game, like that human halfway through the floor that you just saw on the stream. There's loads of fucking stupid things in this game. And there's loads of like enemies that get trapped for no reason. There's loads of shit, but I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it looks okay, I guess.
And I think I was about 30 hours in last week, and now I'm like 42, 43.
Yeah, that's some serious amount of time for you.
Yeah,
recently, to be fair.
it's like I've chipped away at it this week. I haven't not played anything. The only thing is I've just played this. That's all. So, but that's what you got to do to get through these big games.
Well, I mean, that's like me with Resident Evil. To be honest, I have played a couple of other things, but I've mainly been focused on that.
Yeah,
because I want to get it done. I am enjoying it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to get that done, and then I'm gonna play the Forgotten City next. I'm gonna get that finished.
Are you trying to finish games, Stu?
I'm gonna try and finish a few before. Well, I'm trying to finish a few of the games that have been given the nod for Game of the Year.
You know what?
So
I can't think of anything I've played this year that I've liked.
Come on, It Takes Two. You did enjoy that.
I haven't finished it.
No, you're not, have you? Yeah.
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was like brilliant. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good game. And I think it is a good game, but it's not like.
No, I'll be honest. I mean, so far for me, it has definitely got to be Resident Evil 4 VR, and that's a bit of a weird thing to say considering how old the actual game is.
Didn't Resident Evil 8 come out?
Village, yeah, I've played most of that. I need to get that finished as well, so I will finish that as well.
You need to finish that as well.
I need to finish that. Forgotten City, I need to play and finish. I don't think Forgotten City is that long, to be honest.
That's on Game Pass now, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, Millie's boyfriend Adam played it and finished it in 2 days.
Yeah,
or 3 days. He just binged it, and he said he really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, by the way, I feel like I've got I might buy a next console itch.
Ooh, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm not that fussed, but I'm also like, if I see it for sale.
But what are you going, X or S or 5?
X. I think I might go X.
Yeah. You don't want to go down the budget route.
No, I think if I see a Series X for sale.
Yeah.
And available, which I know they're not very often very available, but if I do, I might just buy it.
Yeah.
And the same for the PS5. I might just buy them. I might just like.
I've got to say the S is perfect for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It looks great. It runs smooth. It's quiet. You never hear it or anything. You know, and it's pretty unobtrusive, really. It's tiny little box, and it just does what it does.
Yeah.
I'm not that bothered about the X, to be honest. I'm
No.
like, this is fine. It's fine. It's like a Game Pass player. That's what I consider it to
That's
be.
all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a Game Pass player. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I feel like if I see one available, if someone messages me like, my mate messaged me saying, "Oh, they're on sale. Go get it." I'm like, all right, then fine. I'll just buy it.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah. You never know. There might be some coming up to Christmas. You might be lucky.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Are you gonna buy me
by
one
the-
for Christmas?
No, I'm not. By the way, Duke, I can
Yes.
see a cute dog in the background there.
Yeah, what's
A
up,
cute
Tito?
dog.
Wave?
I just
Hi.
spotted him. Spotted him there.
Oh,
just
he's a
chilling.
puppy.
chilling.
Yeah, he is. I guess
Oh,
he's covered up by the
awesome.
mic, huh?
No, we can
I
see
moved
him.
it earlier, but yeah, I don't want to.
He's just
It,
to the
it
right.
unplugged itself.
He's to the right of you, Mike.
I can't
That's
see
where
him.
he is. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I
he's
don't-
gone. He's laid down now.
Yeah, he was.
He's laid down. I'm watching the delayed stream on YouTube, so
Yeah,
that's
you
why
are.
I can see him.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
He's
I
laid
see him.
down.
Well, he's nuzzled into the
Oh.
pillow there.
Anyway, Duke, what have you been up
Anyway,
to?
yes. Well, I bought a new game. Well, new for me.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? It's weird, but it's
What?
true. And
Yeah.
I've been playing nothing but this game
Wow.
for the entire weekend.
I'm
Duke, as a
impressed.
professional podcaster, you should be playing a variety of games.
Yeah, you should.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I've been playing nothing except Borderlands 3.
Oh, come on, let's get down. Come on, everybody. Check me out. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
I don't know why. I just got the bug. I was like, I wonder if there's any deals for Borderlands 3. So I put it on my isthereanydeal.com wish list, and it showed up on Newegg. They had a digital code for Steam, $16. I was like, that's a good deal. Let's make it happen. And I started playing it. It's really good. Like I don't know. I can't remember the last time I dove into a game this much and had this much fun with it. I was playing Destiny 2, and that's really the DLCs are good on that, but the story isn't really anything to write home in Destiny 2, and it's always hard to figure out the story. They've done a really good job on this game making the story straightforward. And there's some interesting parallels. Y'all haven't played this, have you?
I played a little bit of Borderlands 3.
No,
Okay.
But
Well,
I couldn't get it to run remotely on my Steam link, so I was like, I
Right,
can't
you
bother
suck at
sitting.
games, right, got it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the opening is a lot like Borderlands 1 opening. Like it starts with the dudes, let me tell you a story, blah 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 blah. And then you pick your character on the bus, just like the start of Borderlands 1. So I don't know, it feels like they're kind of returning to their roots or something here. It's the first thing you notice is that obviously it's still cell shaded, but there's a lot of detail in the game, which feels incongruous. You know what I mean? Like to have cell shaded graphics that are also very detailed. That just seems like a weird mix. And because of the detail, I had a bunch of slowdown during the opening cutscenes.
Oh yeah, this takes a bit of running.
It does, and it's been generally pretty smooth. But once you get like a bunch of stuff going on the screen, I've had a few moments of slowdown, which were kind of frustrating. But on the other hand, it generally works very well. The controls are super smooth.
Which characters do you go for?
So I've been going with the siren named, I don't remember what her name is, Amara. Amara. There you go. Sure. And her, she's got the phase lock, just like I think Maya from the last one, or Borderlands 2 anyway. Yeah, she actually has 3 options for her special. You've got phase lock, where you like hold an enemy in place. You've got this like send forward avatars of yourself in order to inflict damage on people. And then you've got something where you jump up in the air and then you crash down to the ground and you cause damage to people around you. The reason, so I tried actually, at first I was using the one where you send the avatars out, but you have to aim it. And a number of times I would have, sort of a mini boss or something really, kind of tough, and I'm like, I want to hurt that a bunch with my special, and then I can shoot it the rest of the way. I would try to hit it with the special, and like he was too far away, or he moved at the last second, and I basically wasted my special. So that was very frustrating. So the phase lock special is nice because you don't really have to aim it very well. You just kind of in the general area, and even if you miss, it'll pick someone near him and hold that person up. So it's just, and they hold them in the air. So it's like, okay, I can take them down when they're just sitting there frozen. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. They've introduced a sliding mechanic.
Claptrap is back.
Claptrap is back, and the one of the things that Borderlands does is it's I'd say this and the Portal games are probably the most successful humor games, or they have the most successful humor in any video game. Can you think of other video games that have like decent humor?
Monkey Island.
Yeah, okay.
Manhunt.
Oh, wacky manhunt.
Yeah, wacky manhunt.
Yeah, I just feel like this does a really good job of incorporating consistent humor. Not all the time. Sometimes it's just over the top or obnoxious, or it's like so tired of what they're doing. They've done it a million times, and it's like, okay, we get it. Yeah. But at one point early on, the person that's in charge of your crew, Lilith, she goes, okay, we need to, triangulate the mission according to this star map and plan our route. And Claptrap just goes, boring! And he starts whacking keys. And then, like, the spaceship starts vibrating everywhere. And he gets flung into the window. And he breaks it. And on the other side of the window is space. So he's just sitting there. And he's like, well, I guess I'm stuck here until the end of the trip. Because he doesn't want to, he can't move. Or else the vacuum of space will kill everybody. So his ass is, like, protecting you from space. It is very funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. You have simplified factions. They don't bother telling you about 10 different groups of people to keep track of the way they have in other games, which I really like. They do eventually learn about other people, but it starts off with you're the Crimson Raiders, and then they're all the fanatics, the maniacs, the bandits, whatever. They're under like Children of the Vault. So you have these two groups, and it starts with that, and it's easier to keep track of. I think that a lot of game developers shoot themselves in the foot by throwing a whole bunch of different groups of people in you. Yeah, that's true, Darren. South Park does have pretty good humor in their games.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. That's true.
Yeah. But a lot of developers do that where they have like 10 different groups you're supposed to keep track of, and it's just like, I'm not trying to keep track of all this. So this game simplifies it. Yeah, here's the biggest complaint, and I've seen a bunch of posts about this on Reddit and elsewhere. The map will only ever display one mission at a time.
Oh.
Which is really annoying because
weird.
Like a lot of games, a lot of open world games, you can have like 5 missions going on at once in an area and make sense for you to,
Yeah.
If 3 of them are in the northern part of the map, you want to go ahead and take care of all 3 of those.
Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, like the missions that you don't select are kind of white.
Yeah,
so
right.
You sort of know, like, well, if I do this one, I can do this one, I can do this one. And
right.
Just sort of go.
Right. Exactly. And this one, they're just not there at all. They're gone. You can only highlight one at a time. And it's really stupid. And it's like, that made sense, I guess, on Borderlands 1, like when they were first starting out. But now, I mean, come on, it's been quite a few years. You know what you're doing. And I'm amazed that there isn't like a mod for it or something. But
Borderlands 1, I think, was 2009,
go figure.
if my memory serves me correct.
Got 10 years under your belt, people. What are you doing? Now, I will say
11.
that the map is 3D, which is, I know that the Skyrim map is 3D and it sucks, but this map is actually good in that it's 3D, because most of the time you don't need to look at it 3D, but once in a while, if the quest marker is above you or something, first of all, on the mini map, it'll have a little up arrow, which is nice, so it'll let you know. But even so, you might not quite figure out where it is, so you can like move the map into 3D and like look at it up and down, which is, it's really handy. I really like that. So they did a good job on that. And the other thing about the map that's very nice is that it's color-coded based on whether you've explored that area or not.
Oh.
So it's white in general, but then it's blue when you explore it. So you can tell which parts of the map you've been to and which ones you haven't. It's a small thing, but it really does actually help.
No,
unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
I say it's good to have stuff like that, isn't it?
Helpful. Yeah, totally.
Helpful.
It's tiny quality of life improvements. There's no doubt about it. Unfortunately, some of the you have all these different planets you're going to, and you have this like home spaceship that you're on, and so once until you get used to the way that the map works, moving from place to place, because there's fast travel in all these different places. Like I kept warping to places accidentally because I was like trying to move the map by clicking and dragging, but that's also what you do if it's hovering over a fast travel location. So I didn't realize that I was hovering over a fast travel location, and I would click and hold, and then I would I was fast traveling. I'm like, I didn't want to fast travel, so that was a little annoying, but it's not that big a deal. There's a mini game in this called Borderlands Science. Have you heard of this?
No.
Nope.
It's a mini game that actually helps scientific researchers.
What?
It's
What?
kind of like NASA at home. You know NASA at home, and they had the whole pandemic, the corona at home thing, where you
no, I was going to say
unfold
folding
the proteins,
folding at
folding
home.
proteins or whatever.
Folding at
So
home.
Borderlands Science, I looked it up, and I don't remember exactly what it is, but it basically has something. Yeah, here we go. This is from Mobile Health News. Borderlands 3 is using its millions of gamers to help map the human gut microbiome.
What?
I know, right? Taking the form of a retro-style arcade cabinet in the home base's medical bay, Borderlands Science has players shifting colored blocks between rows and columns to solve puzzles. Their successes are rewarded with in-game currency, blah, blah, blah. But it has more than just high-score calculations. The colored blocks and puzzles that it's serving players each represent nucleotides and fragments of microbial 16S ribosomal RNA gene sequences, all of which were collected from human stool samples, contributed to and sequenced by an open research platform called the American Gut Project. And here's the thing that I thought was very interesting. They've actually had a lot of people. Yeah, here we go. 1.6 million different players solved at least a single task. Each completed an average of nearly 40 puzzles for a collective total of 63.2 million total puzzles solved. A stark increase in engagement over the 350,000 plus players and the 5-task average logged in by its predecessor, a standalone puzzle game called Philo, over 10 years. So it's actually having a positive, significant impact on this research project. Even though I took a look at it, spent about 20 minutes on it, and moved on, like that's doing a little something, something. And the fact that they have it in this game means millions and millions of people are helping out with this gut project.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think that's smart because it's, we don't play games in order to do that. You'd have to. It's unlikely you could make a really good game based on that. But if you can work it into this and give someone a little bit of something, something in the service of this much larger game, that's a good way to get people to actually take part. So kudos to you, Gearbox. However, shame on you, Gearbox, and because, and it's not just Gearbox, it's a lot of game developers. Let us skip your game developer logo. We don't need to see AMD every time we start the
but
game.
it's loading.
We don't need to
I
see
think that's-
Gearbox.
It's loading up at that point.
It's not
isn't
loading it because then it goes to
Jeez.
Claptrap dancing on the screen. That's the loading screen. It's just playing the videos. We don't need to see those videos. It's so egotistical. It's so annoying.
Well, it isn't. It's just promoting the companies that they've used to help develop the game.
I just bought the game. I gave you $60. Well, I wouldn't have, but I
do you
got it
know
on sale.
what?
That's
It's
so
when you-
ridiculous.
when
That's
you
like
go-
that's like 5 times during a movie you're gonna see the company logo. Paramount, Paramount, Paramount.
Well, you see it at the beginning.
Ridiculous. Yeah, once. And if you have to watch it once when you first start the game, fine. Don't make me watch it every time I
Yeah, but
start
if you
the
go
game
to the
up.
movie
I don't
theater
understand
and
why
watch it
you're on the
twice,
side of
you're
the
gonna see it
companies on this.
twice. Because it's just promoting the like the star of a film is promoting the stuff they used to make it.
Okay, that's such a weird comparison to make because when I find out who did the voices for these actors in this game?
At the end?
Never. Yeah,
Oh,
if
they'll be
I
on at the
choose to run the credits, yeah, but
it'll
you
be
can.
on at the end.
That's ridiculous. Whatever. The point is, it's stupid, and they should let us skip these corporate logos.
Sometimes you can press A and it does.
Yeah,
go
sometimes
quicker.
you can. Right,
Yeah,
and
it
those
does go
companies
quick.
that do that are awesome. Thank you, companies
Yeah.
that do that. Every company should do that. The ship that you're on, it's kind of large and confusing. There's like 3 levels to it, and there's certain parts of the ship you can't get to unless you go to these other parts. And so, especially at first, like you're running all over the ship, and it's like, come see me here, come see me there, and you're like, I don't know where to go. And there's maps that are kind of like that too. They use the verticality, which is great, but in other places there's this 3D platforming you got to do. Like you got to get up there, and I wrote down like, how in the hell do I get up there? Because there's this edge grabbing mechanic, which is nice. But a lot of it is like, I don't know, you have to, like, especially in the city environment, like, you got to go to that building and then go back this way and then over here and then there and then up in order to get to the place that's right above you. And it's just like, I don't want to have to do all that. I came here to shoot stuff, not jump all around as a platformer.
When will they learn?
And at one point you go onto a moon, which everybody agreed that the pre-sequel was annoying because it had that moon gravity and you're just floaty. Now, fortunately, that's a pretty small part of this game, but it was kind of annoying. I was like, stop it. The other thing that bugged me about this game, and I really am loving it. It's really well done. I'm really having a lot of fun. The guns are awesome. There's a lot of variety in the guns, which I really like.
Is it still the random shit? Like random
It is still the random shit, and it is like it's more than ever. It's just you're just drowning in guns. Like there, you know, when I first played the first one, I think I reached a point where I was like, all right, I'm only gonna pick up the ones that are, you know, because there's gray if they're regular, and then they're like green if they're a little special, blue if they're real special, purple if they're more special, and orange if they're amazing special. Yeah. And I reached a point where I was like, okay, I'll only pick up green or better, and then I reached a point maybe where I was like, all right, I'm only gonna get blue or better. Now I'm like, I can't tell because, oh man, it's the rarity, the colors are the rarity, but here's the thing, you might have a super rare gun that is good if you like the way that gun works, because there's some guns, for instance, that will shoot faster but do a little less damage, and then there's other guns that shoot more slowly but they do more damage, right? So the question is, do you want damage per second or do you want, you know, damage per shot?
Yeah.
Then there's guns that will overheat and eventually break, so you have to, but you never have to reload them. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to reload, but I don't want to have to keep track of. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't want a gun that is going to break on me.
Oh my God, it's like Breath of the Wild.
It is like Breath of the Wild.
Couldn't
no
wait
doubt.
for that.
Ugh, God. Where is it? Oh, yeah.
Take this.
Oh, no. I showed that to students recently when they were like, what do you mean you didn't like Breath of the Wild? And I was just like, watch this video and I'll tell you exactly why I didn't like it.
And what did he say? What was their answer?
And they were like, but that's part of the fun. I was like, if you had fun with it, more power to you. Anyway, so yeah, you're drowning in guns, and it's getting to be kind of annoying to have to like constantly stop and look and compare and all that. But I'll tell you this, I've found like 3 guns that I'm just loving. So there's one that does corrosive damage, and it does a lot of it, and the bullets move pretty slowly. But if you phase lock the enemy, it doesn't really matter that the bullets are moving slowly because you phase lock and you just pow, 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 pow. And then by the time it gets them, they're still phase locked, takes them out. But there's variety because sometimes you have like mini bosses who show up and they're actually spreading corrosive damage. So when you hit them with a corrosive weapon, it doesn't really do much to them. And you're just like, oh, snap. So you have to switch to a different gun. It keeps you on your toes in that way. And I think that's really good. I think it's really smart. And usually I get annoyed by that stuff. You know, a lot of times in role-playing games, especially like Final Fantasy, you would have to have the right magic for the enemy that you're fighting, and it's kind of, I think the problem is that it's kind of hard to tell sometimes in role-playing games. But in this game, it's very obvious. Like the dude on fire, you're not going to hurt him much if you shoot him with a fire gun, and the electricity is blue and the corrosion is green. So it's like very color-coded and.
Yeah, I like that though, because like it's hard to remember those systems sometimes.
Right, exactly.
By the way, for the audio listeners, it sounds like I'm muffled. It's because I've got tissue on my nose. That's why.
He is muffled. He is muffled.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty dark game. Not in terms of like grim dark mood of the story, but like it's hard to see the enemies in a lot of these.
When
places.
you're indoors.
When you're indoors, there's not a lot of lighting. And
you need to turn the brightness up. Turn the brightness up.
I have turned my brightness up at this point. And it's still hard to see. Like, you're in sewers and things. I'm like, look, I get it. That's creepy. Just give me a flashlight.
Yeah.
Right?
That'll do it.
I mean, there's no reason not to give me a flashlight.
That'll do it.
And again, like, a mod would, there's flashlights in Skyrim, for God's sake. Like,
maybe an attachment to your gun.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's just weird. There's no flashlights. There should definitely be flashlights in Borderlands 4. Please and thank you. Also, in Borderlands 4, they should resist the temptation to try to sell you DLC on your ship.
Of course they can't. They want to make cash.
Look. There's making cash and then there's making cash. In Borderlands 2, I think when you first started it up, they would have a little ad that's like, get the DLC right here, and that's fine. I don't really mind that. When you're on your ship, first of all, on these games, when you see an exclamation point, that means someone has a mission for you.
Oh
right?
yeah, they
that's
did
cool.
that in
I like
Borderlands 2. You know, like
Did
what you're
they?
gonna
Well,
talk about.
It's so annoying because on your ship, there's like, at least, I think there's like 8 exclamation points inside of little diagonal shapes. And I went over to one, I'm like, ooh, here's another quest. And then it's like, come on and help us on the frontier of tomorrow. And it's like, you must buy the DLC. And I'm like, fuck off. That's so obnoxious. Just turn them off until I have the DLC.
No, because they want you to go and buy it. If you didn't know
I
it
know
was
they want me
there,
to
you
go and
wouldn't
buy it, but that's like saying, I want you to buy my book. So every time you say a sentence, I'm going to be like, buy my book. Buy my book.
Yeah.
Buy my book.
You do
See,
that
that's
though, dude.
Yeah, he's actually done that. He's done that, hasn't he, Chinny? I remembered him definitely doing that.
Yeah.
This is the obnoxious way of trying to get people to buy your shit, and it's
Yeah,
just
but
like
that's
so
what
over the
that's
top
what all
and-
these games are all about. It's like buy the game.
I
but
know
then
that's what they're about, but
spend
I'm
another
telling you, my
gazillion
perspective
pounds.
as a gamer is one of annoyance.
I know. I can appreciate that.
I love the fact that you constantly like champion. You know, companies really want to make money.
No,
like
no,
you should really.
no, I'm not championing. I'm just saying that's
It
the way
sounds
it
like
is.
you are. That's the way. Yeah,
No,
I know that's the
just
way
how
it is. And it's
there's nothing you can do about it because that's what they want to do. They
who
want
said there's anything I can do about anything?
Well,
I'm not
no,
doing. I'm not.
Oh God!
I'm
just
giving you my
saying.
opinions. I'm telling you what's
I know.
annoying to me.
I know, and I know I'm agreeing with you. It is annoying, but
Wow,
that's how these companies work.
I'm
You
just
can't
not
change
hearing
that shit.
agreeing in the same way. I guess I agree in a
do. I
different way, my bad.
totally agree. Because
When I agree with someone, I go, "Oh yeah, I know, I hate that." That's what I say when I agree with.
I
someone.
hate add-ons and fucking trying to fleece you for every penny.
Hey man,
you
brother.
know that.
Yeah,
you know
no
that.
doubt.
But that's
Yeah.
what these games do. You've got to accept that if you play the game because that's what it's gonna do. That's the nature of it.
So Stu, would you be okay then with, or would you have the same attitude if every time you push the trigger on a game, it said buy the DLC?
No, I wouldn't be good with that at all. But I'm just saying that's what these
Because
games
wait a
think is
minute,
a good idea.
because it would be annoying. You would,
It would
not
be
be okay
totally
with it
annoying.
because-
Yeah, it would.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is that this is an annoying, invasive way of trying to push the DLC on us.
And that's why I'm not playing it.
Great. Anyway, moving on.
Mm.
There are a few spots in this game where the dialogue pacing is off. And it's not just this game, it's a bunch of games. But it's clear that, you know, there are certain moments where characters are like trading lines back and forth pretty quickly, especially in a game that has a lot of comedy in it. The pacing's very important, right? So you'll say like, hey, I got the key shard, and the woman that you're talking to will be like, Lilith will say like, oh, give it here. And then Rice will say, oh, that's where it ended up. And you're just like, why is there a delay there? It's because it had to load it up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know why it happens, but it's weird because that, you know what I mean? Like that's a moment where the pacing really matters. And it's the only medium that does that, right? You don't have movies where characters' dialogue doesn't load in time. I don't really know what could be done about it, but I suppose
just remember that reminds me. I know it's something totally different, but that reminds me. Remember Mass Effect 2 because it came on 2 discs and halfway through the game,
right.
I was halfway into a lift,
Yeah.
and then he just suddenly went insert disc 2.
Yeah. And that's
but he didn't just do it once; he did it several times, didn't it? It was like you have to go back to disc 1 again, and then back to disc 2 again. I'm like, but this is like fucking playing an Amiga game. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, really. Pool of Radiance on the Apple IIe, man.
Yeah, Jesus.
Classic stuff. All right, a few more things about Borderlands 3. The dialogue pacing, I said. Yeah, this was great. So they brought back Zero, the samurai dude from the earlier games with the sword.
Yeah.
And when he shows up on the screen, it says, you know, because they have the little splash screens when different characters show up.
Yeah.
So he shows up on the screen, and as he shows up, like he's slicing a bunch of enemies into pieces, and then he shows up and it freezes on him, and then it says 0, and then it says underneath him, ironically, does a lot of dividing. And at first I was like, because every time I see the word ironically or ironic, and I'm like, wait a minute, is it really? Because a lot of times people say irony when it's actually coincidence. Irony is about opposites. But in this case it is, because you can't divide by 0. So well done, Gearbox. Well played. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Math jokes.
Clever jokes.
Clever jokes. Transitioning to the areas is a pain. I said that. Stu, I'm gonna agree
Yes.
with something you said recently.
You do?
Yeah, I know, right? You complained
unusual.
last week. I know, but listen to the way I agree with you. It's gonna
Okay,
sound really
okay.
weird.
Okay.
I love what you said, and it came into existence in this game. Character customization, you said, is really
Oh.
weird when you don't see your character.
It's
right?
pain in the It's a waste of time.
Well, it is a waste of time. In this case, it's not a pain in the neck, really, because you don't really spend much time on it. You can't change the face or any of that, but you can choose different hairstyles. You can choose different, like, I guess you have heads. The head, like, you can have, you kill an enemy, sometimes you get his head, and you can put a helmet of that character. Like in Saints Row, you can have, like, the Gat bobblehead or whatever. Anyway, in this game, you can, some of that customization, colors that you're wearing and all that, but you never see your character.
It's a waste of time.
And it's like, it is a waste of time. It's like, so, and it's a waste of iridium because there's this special currency that you have. And it used to be you bought super special guns or like expansions to your armory or whatever with the iridium. Not anymore. Now the iridium is just about customizing your character, but there's no point. So I'm like, I'm getting all this iridium for nothing.
There'd be a
for
point
no
if you
reason.
played the game in co-op.
Yeah,
true.
I suppose.
True.
That's true. And there's a little home on your spaceship. You have this like cabin that's your home cabin. There's like 3 things you can customize in it. Like there's 3 little hooks on the wall. You can put, Moxie's neon sign or whatever, and that's it. Now, I think I did. It's funny because I found something at one point in the game that's like, this will, you can put this in your home. And so I was like, oh, cool. So I activated it, and then I went back to my home and I'm like, where's the thing? And then I remembered looking at it and I was like, oh, wait, I think the instructions said activate it when you're in your home. So I think it didn't do anything because I wasn't in my home when I activated it. But that's kind of dumb to allow you to activate it when you're not in your home if you have to be in your home.
Yeah, you'd think it'd just say, you need to activate this in your home.
Right,
when you try to
exactly.
click on it or whatever.
Or, I mean, it's a science fiction game. Just have like a little computer. It's like, put this in your computer and you'll have a couch or whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Oh, this was annoying. There's this mission where this woman's like, my whole family got killed. Go kill the guy who killed my family. And then you go and find them, and there's like 2 guys, and they're like, I killed him. No, I killed him. And she's like, I can't tell which one actually killed him, so just pick one and kill him. So I picked one and killed him. And then the other one was just walking around near where the other one was. And she's like, all right, thank you for killing him. Come on back. And then I went back, and she's like, all right, here's some money. Thank you. Now, if you want a little more money, you can go and kill the other guy.
You're
And I'm like,
joking.
stupid lady, I was just there. And like, it wasn't possible for me to kill him after I killed the first one. When I was over there before.
What a weird choice.
It was so stupid. I'm like,
Yeah, go back to where you've just been to kill him.
Right.
Oh my
And there's
god.
no fast travel back to that spot.
Yeah, I just
And-
wouldn't have bothered.
Well, I don't know why, but I'm completioning the hell out of this. I'm doing all the side missions. I'm
You're
doing
all in,
the
Duke.
stuff.
You're all in.
I
I'd
am
have
all
been
in.
just
I
fuck
don't
that
know.
shit. I ain't going all the way back there.
But here's another stupid thing like that. There's this one mission where it was like, oh, they got my friend's head in a jar. So you find the head in a jar, and then it's like, oh, she's in a simulation. You got to take the jar to this computer and put her in the computer, and then you'll enter the simulation with her, and you can get her out. I was like, all right, whatever. So I did the mission. I mean, it's science fiction, whatever. Who cares? So I do the mission. I go to find her it's just the same area, except it's a simulation version of that area, which is stupid. It shouldn't be creative. I guess they would have to make a whole new area if they wanted to do that. But anyway, so you go.
God forbid. I mean, Oblivion.
Well, I mean, they've already got like
years ago. Yeah,
they got like 20,000 areas. Yeah, right, exactly. So anyway, you go back, you do the whole thing, and you get her out, and she's like, okay, I'm ready to go out. Like, disconnect me. And then it's like, go back to the entrance area, the entrance spot of the area. I'm like, I gotta go all the way back. I'm in a simulation of this area. Why couldn't you just give me a button to push and take me out of the simulation? It was so dumb.
You see, even like game design these days, pretty much, if you have a mission like that, it's a circle, isn't it? And when you get to the end, you're back at the beginning somehow.
Exactly, correct.
That's how these
take a
fucking
page
things
from
should
Bethesda.
work. Exactly.
Yeah, Bethesda knows what they're doing. And you just have a chain you pull, and then it opens a wall, and then you're right back where you started. Exactly. However, I will say that this is something I can't remember I've ever seen this in a game. And maybe it's happened elsewhere. Maybe you all have examples of this. Maybe people listening have examples. I don't know. But here's the thing. In this game, when you go down, if you die, you don't die right away, right? You have the fight for your life option where you have a ticking, life bar that's slowly draining or fast draining in some cases, depending on how many enemies are shooting at you. And if you get another kill before it drains, you get a second win, right? Second chance, right?
Yep.
Well, that was pretty cool. I like that because most of the time I can get a kill. But then you have to suddenly look around because usually that happens when I'm fighting like a pretty tough mini boss or an actual boss, and then I suddenly have to look around for some weak, mob to kill because I'm not going to take the mini boss down while I'm shooting with a pistol or something. So I'm like, where's a weak enemy? Anyway, I went down. It was just me and the mini boss, and there was nothing. I wasn't going to be able to kill him, and there were no weak enemies around. So I was like, well, I guess I'm restarting. And then suddenly it said, you are being revived by your ally. I was not in a co-op game. I turned off co-op. I don't have online co-op activated. So it was the AI that was actually helping me by reviving me.
There you go.
I can't remember that ever happening. It was a great thing. I was so happy because usually AI is just like standing around or like getting shot or escort missions suck. We all know that.
It happens in Gears of War.
But in this case, the
Gears
AI
of War,
was doing something good. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Gears of War.
Yeah.
And of course, Elizabeth in Bioshock Infinite did a really good job.
Yeah,
of
she did chucking
stuff.
your ammo and chucking your health.
She was probably the best companion in a video game. I mean, it's hard to imagine. I mean, Yorda in Eco, of course, is. All right, last couple of things. You meet this young lady named Ava, and she's training to be a siren. And like, at one point, she's all teenage badass, like, hey, let's go fuck some people up. You have to go count books. She's, oh man, you never let me do anything fun. That kind of character. And at one point, she's like, can you help me out? We fled that planet, and I left behind a little notebook, and I'd really rather get that back. And I wonder if you could just go grab it for me. So you're like, all right, whatever. So you go and grab it, and it's like her diary. And one of the enemies that took over the planet is like leaving recordings of himself reading the diary out page by page. And you find these recordings, and they're laughing their heads off. This stupid girl. But it's so heartbreaking. It's like, my whole family died today. And the guy's reading. He's like, my family died today. I had to go hide in the sewer. And it's just like, she's like, I feel so alone, and like, there's no point. Maybe I should just give up. And it's such an interesting juxtaposition of the scummy, soldiers laughing their heads off, and this poor girl writing about losing her family and eating rats, and oh god, it was so heartbreaking. So by the time I reached the dude who had been reading her diary out and leaving recordings of himself laughing about it, I wanted him to die more than any other enemy in the game.
Wow, that's maybe why they did it. Rev you up.
I guess so. But it's funny because if you weren't listening very carefully, you wouldn't realize that it's actually really heartbreaking because it's all over the top comma. And of course, she's in your head comm with like, oh god, they found my diary. Oh no, you got to get it. And then she's like, there'll be a part that he reads out that's like actually heartbreaking and like shows her to be very vulnerable. And she's like, that's just for like a song I'm writing. Like, that's not really me. She's trying to cover it up. So all the audio that you're hearing is very lighthearted, but the words that are being said are just like, oh no, this poor girl, she'd been through so much.
Oh, you see, if that were Chinny,
anyway.
he wouldn't have listened to any of that shit. He'd have just been like, skip.
I'd have joined them.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah,
Exactly. You'd have been laughing too. That would be Chinny.
But, yeah.
Oh, and the last thing I'll say is this. Again, generally very awesome. I'm having a lot of fun. Actually, this is one of the few games I've had lately where like I'm excited to play it again. Like I woke up on Saturday morning and I was like, all right, let's do this.
It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I haven't finished my play. The new season of Rocket League started on Thursday, Friday, something like that. I haven't finished my placement matches. Like you have to do 10 in 2s and 3s.
Wow, you've been neglecting to play
I've been neglecting Rocket League severely because I don't, especially because when I play lately, I haven't been playing super well, but I keep getting paired with these dunces who don't know what the hell they're doing in Rocket League. They're doing like, like basic. Here's a point. I was going to ask you, Chinny, in Rocket League, maybe you recall, you haven't played in a while, but you played a bunch back in the day. When should you be driving backwards? In Rocket League. Do you remember doing a lot of backwards driving in Rocket League?
I doubt it. Did you?
No, the answer is never. You should never be driving
I've never
backwards in
seen,
Rocket League. And but I keep getting paired up with people who are just like, they'll go for the ball and then they'll like stop and then it'll get behind them and they'll like back up into it. I'm like, what are you doing? Move in big circles, you stupid fuck. Anyway, so I don't need that drama. I keep asking, when I play Rocket League, I keep asking myself, like, why am I playing this? You know what I mean? And especially ranked, because here's the thing. Look, it felt so good to get that diamond reward for the last season, you know, and you get the diamond season. I'm like, yes, I got the diamond. And then the new season starts. You get the rewards for the last season. They're wheels. I'm like, these don't even look good. And I'm like, really, why do I care about my rank? Like, I shouldn't even care. Like, I don't need it. Whatever. I might be souring on Rocket League.
Because
Wow.
you do, Duke. That's the trouble.
Yeah,
you do.
well,
care.
but it's but
I'm gonna have to have a toilet break. I'm getting old now. Bye.
Okay.
okay.
Go and have a
Your
wee.
gut is what it is.
Or a poo. Could be another.
yeah.
Could be a poo. Who knows?
The
Could be doing a solid right now. It's pushing one out.
yes.
See, I've thrown you
if I can
completely now.
apply, what?
I've thrown you because
That's
Chinny's
okay.
gone
I just
for a
needed
poo.
to find my train of thought. It's okay. If I can apply logical analysis to my thought process, sometimes I can change those thought processes. Not always, but sometimes. So I'm thinking, if I can tell myself, like, you really experience a lot more pain than joy when it comes to Rocket League, you don't have to play it. Maybe I'll lay off it a little bit. Anyway, here's the final thing I'll say about Borderlands 3, because I am really loving it. And I put in 12 hours over the weekend.
That's
Like,
pretty good.
That's a lot for one weekend for me to put into one game. But I'm just, Anyway, here's the thing that kind of bugs me lately. It's only happened a few times, but it's happened enough for me to notice it and to write it down and see it keep happening. I'll be, in this game, cover matters. So I'll duck down behind, something, and then I'll move over to the side so I can see the enemies on the other side of the thing, right?
Yep.
And then I'll shoot at them, and I'm not having any damage. I'm not doing any damage. I know that I've got my crosshair on the guy, but I'm not hitting him. And what I realize is it's like clipping the edge of the thing I'm hiding beside, right? Which is stupid. If I can see the dude,
You should be able to shoot the dude.
I should be able to shoot the dude. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's how
it's
video
really
games
weird.
work.
Sometimes they do, but I feel like, and again, it's a very, it doesn't happen very often, but I feel like, it's just weird that the system of visual representation, the system of spatial actual, reference is skewed in that way. Like, it doesn't match up. It feels like it ought to match up pretty well. If it's in the way of the bullets, it should be in the way of the scope.
Yep.
So
Totally should.
That's just bizarre. But
Totally should.
again, minor complaints. By and large, the areas are interesting. There's a lot of diversity. One planet, and of course, it's the usual thing of like you go to this new planet, you're experiencing half of a city within that planet, right? What about all the other cities on the planet? What about all the rest of the city? Like, it's kind of silly that you go from planet to planet and you're only seeing a tiny little bit of it. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But it's
Yeah,
humor.
but that's just the scale, isn't it? You can only
It is. I know.
so
It would be
much.
ridiculous for them to not do that. But I guess the question for me is like, why do you need to keep going from planet to planet? Like, that just doesn't. I don't know. It seems silly to me. I think I would love to see a science fiction story where they just take you around the different parts of one planet. Because you think about all the different biomes and things that we have on planet Earth. There's a lot of different types of places on planet Earth.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in a science fiction, a lot of times they just treat every planet like it's just one biome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is ice or fire.
Right.
Or...
You getting
exactly.
that? I thought that exact same thing on Mass Effect.
Yeah. Right.
You get like desert,
Yeah.
ice planet, all that sort of stuff. But ice planet makes more sense. But if it's a foresty planet, then
Right.
it should.
It's
have
not going to
all
be the whole
things.
planet
No,
is
no.
foresty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
You can have different environments in the same
Yeah.
place.
Right. So again, by and large, those quibbles aside, I am really loving it. It's been a long time since I've been this excited and like I'm looking at the gameplay on the stream here. It really makes me want to play Borderlands 3, which is again after 12 hours. Usually my excitement like wanes a bit, but it's not waning. I'm still in it and I'm loving it. So hooray for Borderlands 3.
Yeah, I mean, like I never really played 2. I played 2 a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I got
I
about
played-
halfway through 2, I think.
Yeah, I played 1 a lot and never finished it,
Mhm.
but I played it a lot in co-op.
Yeah.
And I played a very little bit of this, and I don't know. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I'll
It
tell you
does
this
look like
too.
fun.
Two more things. One, I know it's made for co-op, and it's a testament to the game design and the flexibility of it that it's still really fun for someone like me who doesn't play a lot of games in co-op.
Well, to be fair, the dude on the screen's playing it single player as well. This isn't co-op, is it? I don't
Yeah,
think.
but I'm saying though, a lot of games that are designed to be played in co-op, they're just, I mean, they're possible to play them solo, but they're
yeah,
not
but it's
fun.
usually clunky, isn't it? If it's
Right.
if it's made for
So
co-op.
they've done a really good job of finding ways to make it fun for people in groups
Yeah, and to
solo
balance it.
lone wolves. Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing, I forgot what I was going to say for the other thing. Oh well. If I think of it, I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll move on to the next game I played.
Yes.
Which you may know of, Duke. You may
Okay.
know of this game.
Well, give me a hint then.
It came out on the Apple computer, and there were a few games that came out on the Apple computer.
Mist?
Initially. No.
Mist was originally
But
just an
it
Apple
was
game?
originally a point and click adventure game.
King's Quest 2?
No.
Apple games, point and click. Huh.
It came out in 1987.
Whoa.
It was first published.
How many words in the title?
Just one, but then there's a subheading as well.
Not Zorg, that was text only. Point and click, single word, not Mist, not Riven.
No.
Because Riven wasn't Mac only. Huh. Give me another hint. What is point and click?
It's set in Norse mythology.
Norse mythology. Not Loom.
No.
Because that was a point and click game.
No.
Are
you giving up?
Mythology.
Are you giving up?
I get Zeus. I don't know.
No. It's called Shadowgate. Now,
mine's
I've
I've never heard of Shadowgate. I have no
but
idea
apparently
what that
it's quite a renowned game. People love this back in the day, long time ago.
Well, I didn't, therefore it's not renowned because
yeah,
I don't know
therefore
about
it isn't renowned. It has received a number of iterations. So it did come out as just as Shadowgate in 2014 on PC, and then it was ported to PS4 and Xbox One and Nintendo Switch in 2019. So this game's been kind of around in different iterations.
How about that?
But this particular version is a VR game.
Yes. VR. Okay. So it's not point and click, it's VR and click.
Okay. But there was a game. Well, there was a game. There was a TV show. Chinny may be aware of this, even though he's a little bit young for it. But there was a TV show back in the day called Nightmare. Do you remember this?
Yeah. I remember
Nightmare. And you used to. It was basically you used to get a bunch of kids. One would put this like helmet on, and then he had to go into this like dungeon as an adventurer, and the others had to guide him because he couldn't see. So they would sort of attempt to run forward or go sideways or whatever, and it was kind of fun and cool.
This is before we had actual video games.
Yeah,
where
this
you
was
would instruct people over the phone or whatever.
No, they were all in a studio.
They were all in the studio. Okay, fine. They had to use their voices to instruct people. To go
they used to go, "You've got to run forward now," or whatever.
Right. Gotcha.
So, but this is kind of that, but in a game. So it's kind of what it is. So it's a dungeon crawler, but it's not procedurally generated. So this is all like planned and developed properly. So it's very cool. It's a little bit like Dragon's Lair. So it has got a bit
actually
of
looks like Borderlands. I thought it was Chinny was putting Borderlands back on.
Yeah,
we're looking at like a mountainside cavern.
Yep. So you've got
just the intro.
Yeah, this is just getting into the mine.
Okay,
but there's
gotcha.
a raven with you, and that's Odin. So he's your guide. So he guides you through, and he's kind of cool. The voice acting's pretty good, and he just gives you hints. So if you get a bit stuck, he'll pretty much do a bit of a what was that hint system you used to like for Mist and stuff like that?
The universal hint system, UHS.
Well, it's basically that. So you'll speak to him, and he'll give you like a bit of a vague hint. And then you'll speak to him again, he'll give you something a little bit more detailed, and eventually he'll just tell you the answer. You know what I mean? If you really get that.
Pull the fucking lever, dipshit. Pull the lever.
Yeah. So
that'd be the last thing he says.
This is kind of that, and it's cool. And there's like floor puzzles, and he has this like special eye. So if you go, you can possess him, and then that'll enable you to see stuff that you can't see. And you've got to unlock locks, and you've got to solve puzzles, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed with this. It's kind of cool. It's hard, And it's
Nice.
gonna, there's like you'll get a riddle that you've got to solve and stuff like
Ooh.
that. So it's kind of
Riddle me
like,
this.
yeah. So there's all that kind of stuff. It's pretty basic, to begin with, but I'm guessing as you get further through the game, and it's got good save points. So it's not one of these where you do a run and then you have to start again at the beginning.
Well, I would
So
hope
it
they
just
change that.
it saves you progress. So yeah, but a lot of these roguelike dungeon crawlers, they don't do any of that shit, do they? It's just like, oh, start again.
Yeah, but if you're gonna re-release a game from 1987, like goddamn.
Yeah, but this isn't that game because that was a point-and-click adventure game. This is just a dungeon crawler, modern iteration set in
Oh
that
wait, this
universe.
isn't just the same game.
No, God, no.
Oh, I thought this was the same game, just in
No,
VR.
no.
Oh,
So
well,
the
then what is
original,
it called? It just has the same title.
it's in the set in the same universe.
I gotcha. Okay, sorry.
Oh wow. So you have a magic wand. That's your primary weapon. You can shoot fire and stuff.
You're a
you
wizard,
can-
Harry.
Yeah, giant ass bloody spiders attack you and things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, you're basically a wizard, and you're exploring these mines, and you've got to go and find this dude. So that's the aim of the game, and kill him. I
Go
think.
find the dude.
Find the dude, kill the shit. Like I said, they're fairly simplistic puzzles to begin with. They're just like shooting runes on the ceiling or looking for the hidden runes, and
Yeah.
that'll get you past the force fields and stuff. But then as you get further into the game, it does get more complex and more timing based.
Yeah.
So I found that, and I did die quite a few times doing one particular puzzle. But yeah, it's getting good. And then like the latest one that I was doing when I stopped playing it was a floor puzzle, and you could only see the path when you was in Odin vision. And then you had to go back to your character and then follow, because there's spikes coming up out of the floor if you stood on the wrong tile.
Right.
So it's good. I'm really impressed with this. It wasn't that expensive. It's about 15 quid.
Cool.
So it wasn't crazy amounts of cash.
Fucking hell.
I know. But it looks good.
Why did you buy
graphically
so
it
much
looks good.
shit on the VR?
Because I like the VR. It's cool just being somewhere else.
And
Do you know
having a
what I
helmet
mean?
on your head. when
It's
you're
not
playing
that
video games.
bad. It's not
I've never done it,
bad.
so I don't know. I just think it's not the type of thing I think I would like to play a game. But you know what? Maybe if I tried it, I would be like, "This is so awesome."
This is cool. I mean, this particular
Dude, I
puzzle you
reckon
can see-
Mark Zuckerberg is paying Stu to be up the
He
VR.
is.
I think
I am
so.
I am the envoy of VR.
He's a
so you
meta
see-
commentator. Ah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see this particular puzzle involves you trying to kill all these giant spiders with fireballs, shooting them through the tube. And you've got to turn the wheel to get the different tubes that are in the said area. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm really impressed with this. It's kind of cool. And you do feel like a dungeon adventurer, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only other thing I've played, because I think you're done, dude. That's all you played, isn't it, Borderlands?
That is all I've played.
The only other thing I played a bit more Forza Horizon 5. I don't know what I'm totally feeling this game, if I'm being totally honest. It looks cool and it is cool, but I don't know whether I'm liking it that much. I kind of like the British, Forza Horizon 4 set in the UK version. I don't know whether I like this as much. It does look beautiful. I mean, there's no denying how nice it looks, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's enough. And I know I'm probably sacrilege because I know people absolutely love the game.
Well,
No,
I mean, whatever.
I've
If you're
heard
not a- if
people
you don't-
say that it doesn't have as much variety as the British one.
No, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it because the other problem you've got is the British one, and they've employed the same system here, is all set in seasons. Well, let's be honest, Chinny, seasons in the UK are distinctly different from each other. You've got sort of autumn when everything turns brown. You've got winter when everything's
Don't you
snowy
mean
and icy.
days? Don't you mean like
Days,
every day could be
days.
different?
You got
Okay.
the spring where everything's nice and growing and flowers and stuff, and the summer. This has got seasons, but they don't make much sense because you're in Mexico, and let's be honest, there's not that much difference between seasons.
Sorry, when did you live in Mexico?
Well, I haven't, but look, it's a hot country. It's near the equator. It's not going to be having a lot of variation of season, is it? Let's be fair.
I don't know. I've never been to Mexico nor researched its climate.
I would assume if I had a look, it's pretty much hot all year round. I would think.
Okay.
It's a hot place. But you do get storms, and they have incorporated stuff like sandstorms into the game, and obviously thunderstorms and things like that. So there is all that stuff in there. But I don't know. I don't feel like there's enough variety, as cool as it is. You know, but I've not played. I mean, the map is huge. You know, the map on 4 was pretty big, but this is fucking enormous. There's like every time you unlock a new area, it's miles away from the first area.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't really done a lot of the dirt racing or anything. I've tended to be doing more road racing than anything else. But the other problem is I'm a bit shit at it. That's the other issue here. I am not the best at racing
Now we
games.
get to the real reason.
Shut up, you. Yeah, I'm not brilliant. I'll be honest. I go on it most of the time. You know, even though I slow down. If I slow down, right, I'm like, I'm going to do cornering properly. I slow, and then fucking the AI just bombs off into the distance. It's like wankers.
Yeah, wankers.
Fucking splitters. So it's all right. It's good. It is good, but I don't know how much more I'm going to play it, to be honest. And there's no story to finish, so I'm not that bothered. You know, it's not like I need to finish it. But every now and again, I'll probably pick it up and give it a race. But I don't know. I kind of like 4 better. I think I'm just going to go and play 4 more.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fair enough. I mean, if it doesn't, the gameplay isn't fun. Like that's really
the
key.
gameplay is fun, but I just feel like the environments aren't that great. And it's just a bit weird when she goes, "Hello, Stuart." You know what I mean? Because they take your name off your Xbox profile.
Right.
Hello, Stuart. You did really well there, Stuart.
Oh, what do you want to say? Like, hello, big boy.
Yeah, maybe that'd be better. Maybe that'd be better. I don't know. It's just a bit weird. It's just a bit weird. Hey, Stuart. But no, it's all right. And the characters. Now, here's a game where you do see your character in cutscenes quite a lot, and the character customization is very generic in this game. There ain't a lot you can do to change the face or anything. It's kind of like male, female, slightly different hair, and that's kind of it. And 2 voices.
But I mean, are you seeing yourself again? Are you seeing yourself a lot?
You see yourself, yeah. Every time you get on the podium, you see yourself on stage waving to the fans, or every time you start a new race, obviously he does a bit of a thing for the fans before he gets in the car or whatever.
Yeah. I just want to emphasize though, Shoot, this is a driving game. Yeah,
shut up. I want to see. Now, there's a game that would benefit from character customization. Just saying. It's all right. It's good, and I know, like I said, people out there who love racing games are like, "This is amazing. What are you fucking talking about?" Well, it's all right. Anyway,
then they can write to us.
Yeah, they can. We've got some news. Shall we do some news?
I think it's time we do some news.
Putting news first.
First of all, when it comes to Bobby Kotick.
Fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah. Why is that? What is he even doing?
Because he, here, wait, I got a news article from Bloomberg. Xbox chief says he's evaluating relationship with Activision. Microsoft Corporation's head of Xbox says he's, quote, evaluating all aspects of relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments in light of recent revelations at the video game publisher. In an email to staff seen by Bloomberg News, Phil Spencer said he and the gaming leadership team are, quote, disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard Incorporated. He referred to the Wall Street Journal story earlier this week that said that CEO Bobby Kotick knew of sexual harassment at the company for years and he mistreated women. So fuck that guy. And good for you, Phil Spencer, for standing up to it and hopefully taking some action to punish Activision Blizzard if they don't get rid of him.
Yeah, they probably just want a bigger cut to the profits.
Well, you know what? If it gets rid of Bobby Kotick, fine.
Maybe.
I ain't no fanboy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm just cynical. I just think like that's all just PR. I feel like that's just PR.
Well, if it has a positive result in the lives of women in the industry, I think that's fine.
I hope that happens. I do.
I hope so too. You agree on that? Yes. Once again, where you agree.
So Bobby Kotick has been done for sexual harassment. Is that the gist?
No, he's been covering it up. Covering
it up, and he's, according to the report, he has mistreated women. It's not specific.
A man of power mistreating women.
I know, right? Can you imagine?
Never happened.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew? So yeah, let's hope he gets fired. He probably won't.
Well, we'll
Probably
see.
just got a bit of a slap on the
We
wrist.
never
and
thought
that'll be that.
Harvey Weinstein would go to prison, but he did.
Well, eventually.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
see what,
I didn't think
what
Julius
happens.
Jones would get spared, but he did. Julius Jones is now still alive because people demanded that the governor of Oklahoma not execute him, and then he granted him clemency. So these things can have an impact, y'all.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
they can.
So yeah, Bobby Kotick, you can go screw yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, I've got some news for you, Duke.
Go ahead, hit me.
And I think Chinny is right.
Okay. Ooh, that's the first time I've heard it.
Dun.
Okay, what's the news?
It's been confirmed pretty much that The Elder Scrolls 6 will be exclusive to PC and Xbox.
Booyah.
Booyah. No Sony PlayStation.
And when it comes out in 2063, we'll have a lot of fun playing
Yeah,
it on
we
our
will
PCs
eventually.
and Xboxes.
What's quite interesting,
There won't
Phil
be consoles way in the
Playing
future
it
like
in
that.
our minds.
Yeah,
exactly.
Phil Spencer
Gadzorb.
basically said he appreciates that games should be inclusive and should be available to all, as big a player base as possible. But you know what? We fucking own Bethesda, so we want all that shit to ourselves. So there you go. That's pretty much what he said.
There you go. Yeah.
That's pretty much what he said. So you
By the way, I
can't
just
blame
finished
him.
the peanut chickies, so.
You can't blame him. So there you go.
No.
Here's a good one. I'm quite
Yeah.
looking forward to this, I've got to say.
Okay.
Game Pass is adding lawn mowing simulator
Nice.
to its lineup.
Finally.
Finally, some good games on Game Pass.
I know.
Maybe I will.
do.
Maybe I will sign back up for it.
Do you know what though? I think the Duchess would like this game
I don't think she would.
because you can basically choose from all the fucking like Ferraris of sit-on lawnmowers, and then
She's
you
not
can
interested in
choose
fancy
like
shit like that. Here's the question: Can you do permaculture gardening on it?
possibly. I have no
No.
clue.
The answer is no. You can't. There's no games
It's
about
set
that
in
yet.
it's set in the British countryside, and you
Okay.
can mow the lawns of these big stately homes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
See, now you're interested. I can see.
Now, if there's something that needs to get me back into video games, it's this.
It's this game.
Yeah.
This game's- So watch this space. You've not said when it's coming, but it's coming.
Wow, there's actually a bunch of Reddit posts about how there should be a permaculture video game.
There you go. Do you see? There's
There
Reddit
you go.
posts about everything. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there is.
Now I've got something for us here that we haven't had for a while.
Go on.
I
A
have
review from
got-
Quanrian?
No, I've got a list.
Is it a list
Well,
of
no,
what's going to be
list.
at E3 next year or something?
No.
Oh, snap. On a fake floor?
No, maybe. No, it isn't. But someone has compiled a list at IGN entitled "The 25 Best Original Xbox Games of All Time."
I think there was only 25 games on the
I think that was it, wasn't it?
Exactly. Gears of War is number one, obviously.
No. This is
The number
original
one will be,
Xbox.
Halo.
Original Xbox.
It's either going to be Halo 1
Oh, the
or
original
Halo,
Xbox. Halo.
Halo 1 or
So
Halo 2.
I'm not gonna read the whole list, but
No, I know, but
let's-
wait. Before you get
What?
to it, let me just
What?
think if there's others that are going to be on that list that I can
KOTOR,
predict.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Was KOTOR just on the Xbox?
Yeah, it launched on the
Huh.
Xbox, yeah.
Okay.
And the second
See,
one
I
as
had a
well.
PS2, so I wouldn't know what was on the
The
Xbox.
original Forza was on there as well.
Okay.
So,
what else
let's-
is popular?
Were there
on-
sports
let's
games that were
see.
unique to Xbox?
Let's see. Whoa,
Oh,
slow
really?
down, people. Let's see if you can guess what games are in the top 10.
So Halo 1 and 2 are
I was
definitely-
trying to do that. I don't know.
Halo 1 and 2 are probably top. Like, they're in the top 5.
Yeah.
I
So
would
what do
say.
you think the number one is then? Which of those games do you think is number one?
I think
Probably
prob-
Halo.
It's hard to pick between Halo 1 and 2 because 2 did so much for Xbox Live.
That's true.
And 1 was such a crazy thing. I think 1 might tip it because it's the start.
It broke the ground, yeah.
So maybe 1.
You are correct, Chinny. Halo Combat
Yay!
Evolved is number one.
And it was
Alright,
also
how
the
about that?
first game out on the original Xbox. It was the first one.
There you
Really?
go.
Huh.
So if that's number one, can you guess what number two is?
Is it Halo 2?
Halo
It
2.
is Halo
Halo
2.
Hey!
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Is Forza in the top 10? The first Forza?
No.
No.
No, it isn't. No.
KOTOR?
So what else? is-
KOTOR, yeah, KOTOR's got to
Ko-
be in there.
So what number do you reckon KOTOR
Probably
is?
3.
No. There's a game before
Really?
that.
4
There's a game
then?
before that.
4?
It is number 4. Number 4.
Try it. Is it Ultimate Warrior in there? The The simulation, the army game, the strategy.
Yes, that is in there, but it's not in the top 10.
No, it's not
Which
because that was
is,
great.
I think you're going to be talking about, if I can find it. I've scrolled down. Full Spectrum Warrior.
Full Spectrum
yeah.
Warrior, yeah.
That's number 15. Number 15.
That's
I knew I'd seen that on the list.
That's a great game.
Oh. I'm looking at a list of.
Is any of the Splinter Cells on there? Because they were.
There is. Which
Chaos
one?
Theory
though?
is the one that everybody loves.
Indeed, that's number 3.
Ah, there you go.
That is number 3. So that's your number 3 right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing well here, Chitty. I'm impressed.
5. I mean, it
5.
could be anything.
I'll give you a clue. Do you want a clue for number
Sure.
5?
Yeah, go for it.
Hard as nails.
Oh, it's Ninja Gaiden, probably.
Ninja Gaiden is number 5.
Oh,
Ninja
yeah.
Gaiden
Ninja
is
Gaiden
number 5.
Black, to be exact, I think he is.
It just says Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. Number 6. You want another clue?
Give me a clue.
Oh, it's been dark for a long time.
Perfect Dark?
No.
Hold on.
No.
No, that was a 360 game.
Yeah.
It's been dark for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, when them two suns go down, it's going to be real dark for a bit.
Two Sons. Star Wars?
Yeah.
Isn't that Star Wars?
No, it's based on a film. It's based on a film. Yeah.
When those two sons, it must be a Star Wars. I was KOTOR 2, is it?
No. There's a very famous actor. Well, the film that this is from was his like big break, really.
Oh, I got it. It's Vin Diesel you're talking about.
It is.
What's the name of the fucking film?
It was Pitch Black.
Pitch Black
that
is
was
the film.
film, but
then there was
what's
a
the video game?
there's a game that was very, very well regarded.
It was.
Pitch Black?
No.
No.
Blacky Black Pitch?
No.
No.
What was his name?
Riddick. Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we're doing well. We've only got 3 to go. Are you ready? So the next one, I'll give you another clue.
Go ahead.
I've shook hands with the person who made this.
Oh,
Does
is
that
this
really
is
narrow it
this is this a Peter Molyneux game?
It is.
Is this what would be out then?
That would be Fable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Fable.
Is it Fable? Is it right?
It is because you know what? If you plant a seed in the game, you'll see the tree grow throughout.
Which
it
is
never happened.
well known. I mean, shit, Minecraft does that.
Never happened. That didn't do that. It never happened. Okay, so we've had Chaos Theory, but there's another one in the top 10.
There's the original
Linear
Splinter Cell.
Dynamics? Oh.
There's the original Splinter Cell, and there's Pandora Tomorrow as well.
Yeah, no, it's not a Splinter Cell game, but it is a Tom Clancy game.
Oh, well, it could be. Is it a Rainbow Six game? Oh, he's froze. Is it a Rainbow Six game?
It is, but which one?
So it won't be Vegas.
No, that's too late. It's way earlier than
Rainbow.
that.
I'm trying to remember what. Is it just Rainbow Six 3?
It is.
Yeah.
God, you're doing really well here, Chidi.
I did play. I did have an original Xbox. I do know these.
I can tell. Number 9 is linked to my old hobby, which I've not done for a long time.
Geocaching.
No.
Rollerblading. It will be. It's Jet Set Radio, most likely.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
Yeah, okay, good.
The final one, I've not really got a lot of knowledge of, but I do know it involves being in the sky.
Oh, it's Crimson Skies 2, 3, something like that.
No, it's a subheading.
No, it's not Crimson Skies.
It is Crimson Skies, but there's a subheading.
Oh, Crimson Skies like red, something red.
No,
like, it's another word for red.
No, it isn't.
No, crimson is the red.
Crimson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crimson Skies.
Oh, I'll be impressed if you get this because I don't think you're gonna get this.
Crimson Skies. Something about fire or.
No, I don't think you're gonna get it.
No, but it's Crimson. That was a badass game.
It's Crimson Skies: High Road to Revenge.
No, I wouldn't have got that. No.
Apparently. So that's the top 10. Do you agree? Top 10 video games on the Xbox?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all solid games. Yeah, Crimson Skies was brilliant.
I don't know whether you know when you were saying about Forza Horizon, you weren't meaning Project Gotham Racing, were you?
No. The PGR was bigger than Forza
Yeah.
1. Forza 1 was on the original
What was it? I
Xbox.
never knew that.
But PGR was more successful than
Yeah, PGR 2's number 12. We've got Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. That was on it, apparently.
Oh yeah, that was.
And one that I'm surprised you didn't mention, Chinny, is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah, it was a port. That's how I played it, actually.
No, but it was a big deal though, because obviously it only ever been on PlayStation up to that point.
That's
hadn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it was a big deal for it to come. I'm just thinking, is there any other honourable mentions really that I should mention? But Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. That was very
these are
well
all
regarded.
ports, aren't they?
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say like these aren't.
Yeah, and that's
I played
about
that
it
on the
really.
PS2.
See, we like a good list.
It was a good console. I mean, it had its
Well,
moments.
it was always more. There was a lot of regard for it because it was a much more powerful console than the PS2.
It just wasn't as
it?
successful.
It just wasn't as commercially. Well, it was a funny looking box where it wasn't very sexy.
But it was a good first run. I mean, but Xbox Live basically was the saving grace for that console. Like, if it wasn't for Xbox Live, then it probably wouldn't be here now. But I remember when I played Xbox Live and hearing people's voices come through a console blew my mind. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Right. We've got some emails. Shall we do those?
Yeah, baby.
Whoa, that ruled.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Amar Parvez, friend of the show, is the first email this evening. And he says, question for the show.
Oh yeah.
fooling. I'm from North Kiltown.
Salutations, veterans.
Hello.
How are the terrific trio? Well, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm doing much better than I was at the start of the show. My tummy's not as upset as it was earlier.
And Chinny's not very well, are you, Chinny?
No, but I'm feeling a bit better.
Livened up. He's livened up. I don't think this is the actual question, but it's a question.
Okay.
Have you got your Christmas tree and decorations up?
No.
No.
We don't even fuck with Christmas, really.
Or is it still too early? Is it still too early? Definitely.
We just don't really do it.
I know you don't.
We've never really done any Christmas decorating. We have a few strings of Christmas lights that the Duchess put around like the bottom of one of our trees. So it's this kind of sad little like 4 strings. Flash, 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 flash.
Anyway, Chinny and I can answer this question. When is a good time, Chinny? When do you put yours up?
We do ours now, like literally on the 1st of December, or very close to the start of December.
Yeah, we do ours probably just towards the end of the first week, beginning of the second week of December.
For me,
ours.
December is like, I think it should be law that December anything Christmas goes. Do you know what I mean? Like adverts.
Yeah. Sure.
Whatever you want to do, decorations. But like in November, I mean, does it really bother me? No, but I just feel like December should be Christmas month, because if you do it too early, you get sick of it by the time it comes.
Yeah, it's true.
But if I feel like,
it's interesting because I feel like the retailers are so desperate this year because last year was such a rough.
Yeah, they're pushing it really, really hard.
Pandemic is just killing a lot of retail outlets, so I don't blame them, but. It's also it's kind of sad. It's just, please buy a car, get some clothing. We need to make some money.
I saw a debate today about like Black Friday ethical and all this sort of stuff, because we get a weird relationship with Black Friday, because Black Friday sort of is the day after Thanksgiving and all that sort of stuff. And but we have no Thanksgiving, so you in America you have this day where you're really thankful for like. I'm really thankful to be.
Well, ostensibly, I mean, come on, it's about eating too much.
Ostensibly, but you're supposed to. Let's just imagine like you're supposed to reflect and be thankful for what you have, and then you buy new shit, right? That's sort of makes sense in a sort of weird way.
I guess, yeah, sure.
I guess, but it's not what traditionally Thanksgiving was about. But it's sort of like, let's buy some
slaughter of the native people. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like tomato, potato.
Yeah,
and
right,
then
exactly.
you.
And speaking of which,
So
take that.
So now in England, well, in the UK, you don't get Thanksgiving, so you don't get this like period of like, oh, I'm really, let's
you don't have the
reflect.
gratitude. You just
We
have the purge of consumption.
You just get like notifications in emails and Amazon just saying, buy this shit. It's
Now let me
Black
ask you a
Friday
question, though.
week. It's not Black Friday. It's Black Friday week.
Do people in the UK like camp out at Sainsbury's
Yes,
overnight?
yes,
really?
yes.
So that's the part that just does my head. I told my students, like,
I was going to say, to be fair, we seem to have Black Friday weeks because it seems to be for about the 2 weeks.
It's a week. It's a week.
They're trying to do that here, but like it's interesting because like first of all, I feel so bad for the people who work in those stores because they have to here if it's Thanksgiving or there they just get up. You have to be there at midnight. The store's open at midnight. Like, what the fuck? Like, they let the workers go home.
They get paid
a
a
they
really
get paid,
bad wage and get treated like shit.
exactly.
I mean,
and they don't get to choose when they work. But I tell my students like it's Buy Nothing Day because Adbusters created this Buy Nothing Day on the same day as Black Friday. It's like resist the temptation to buy anything. You don't really need to be buying more crap.
No,
it is true.
But she's got a new hat.
So she got a new hat, and I bought Borderlands 3. So,
but she's got a new hat.
So, I've definitely stripped back on stupid shit to buy. I definitely have in my life.
Yeah.
I've maybe in the last 6 months, and I remember saying to Tara like, now and again I just get this impulse buy. The most recent one was an Apple Watch. I haven't bought an Apple Watch, by the way, but I got thinking about buying an Apple Watch, and I was like, I don't really like wearing watches at all. Like I wear watches.
That's a pointless idea for you then.
I wear watches like now and again, but then I was like, but if I buy an Apple Watch, I'll wear it more, and I can pay.
But you have to. Well, they're terrible because you have to charge them about once every 5 hours. They're not even.
It's funny. I've seen people wear them as like some people wear them as like Fitbits, and if you really do a lot of fitness stuff, I guess it makes sense in that sense.
Yeah.
But like I've also seen people. Most of the time when I've seen Apple Watches, it's like people showing off, like look what I have. Yeah. But there's a guy who started working with us recently. What up, Ebony? He won't be listening to this, but just in case. He actually uses it for like emails and like texts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he uses it as it's supposed to be used. And I was just like, what the hell is this?
And if you clench your fist or like turn it or so that it does other things, it's crazy how it works. But then I really think about it and go, no, I don't actually need it. I don't want
You don't need it. You don't need it, man.
No.
Don't need it. He has got an actual question, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let her rip.
He says, anyway, lads, I have a question for you three. What is your absolute most favorite cutscene in a video game that brings out emotion?
That's a good question.
So I'm talking about a scene that makes you shout, cheer, sit in stunned silence, or even
this is
maybe
easy.
shed a tear.
I got
this
two.
Is gay Tony for Chinny, right?
I got two. Yeah, when they show the penis. Yeah. I got two.
I've got a few of these, to be fair.
I think that was a lost and damn actually, Dick. But anyway,
go on. What are you doing?
The first one's obvious.
Go on.
It's Red Dead Redemption, and it's
that's a good answer.
It's the barn. So if anybody's
right. Yeah.
The second one is a bit like a more subtle one, but it's the best joke I have ever seen.
Wow.
In a video game, and it was perfectly timed, right? And it's in Portal 2, and it's the bit where he kills you. So he doesn't actually kill you, but that's the name of the chapter, right?
This is the part where he kills you?
This is the part where he kills you. So he goes, you land on a platform. I can't exactly remember how it plays it, but you land on something, and then Steve Merchant pops in and he goes, this is the bit where I kill you. And then the chapter name comes up, the bit where he kills you. And then the achievement pops up. This is the bit where he kills you, right? And all three things hit at the same time, and it's so funny. And I remember that probably one of the very few times I laughed out loud at a video game. It doesn't happen very often.
Absolutely.
Even like in Borderlands, I or
There are more chuckles in Borderlands.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
I don't ever really guffaw or laugh out loud most.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't actually laugh out loud, but that made me laugh out loud. It doesn't happen very often,
Yeah.
but that was like the most perfectly executed time because
Oh, yeah.
timing is
Oh, it
so
was
important,
so well done, yeah.
and it was just
Right.
so well done. And
I
so
remember
well executed.
the bit I remember about, although it's not a cutscene, but the bit I remember about Portal 2 is when I can't remember what he says. I'm gonna go and get changed. Don't watch or something, or don't look at me while I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Right.
spent ages to see if I could see him while he was doing it. Ages. Can I see him while he's doing it? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna try.
Well,
Because the
my
moment
favorite.
a video game tells you not to do something, you just want to do
Yeah,
it.
oh, of course. And to see if you could see, behind the scenes, like,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
between the seams of the scenery. The bit in Portal 2 that always sticks with me is when he says, "My scientists tell me that I shouldn't be making so many audio recordings. You know what I'm gonna do? Make more audio recordings."
Yeah,
That's
it's a
great
game
moment.
I
So
haven't
good.
played for a long. I played
It's
it
time
twice.
for me to do another playthrough.
I played it
yeah.
twice in a row when it came out, and I've never played it since. So
I must have
such
done
a
at least
great
5 playthroughs at this
Great
point.
game.
Yeah.
You said you had a couple. What's your other one, Chinny?
I said
Well, that
two:
was
Red Dead and
The Barn and.
Oh, you did
Portal
say
2.
Red Dead. That was quick though. I was talking about that. The ones that it's not so much as a cutscene, but the opening cinematic to Bioshock.
Yeah, that's a good
You
one.
know, where you're going down into Rapture is just so. It's just one for me. One of the most memorable openings to a game, along with the original Half-Life when you're on the monorail. You know, because it's not really a cutscene, but you kind of are. You know,
Right.
because it's
There's not much for
interactive.
you to do in that
You
moment.
can't
It's
really do
mostly
a
just
lot.
watching,
It
yeah.
is like it is again an introduction to what's about to
Yeah.
come. And then the other one I remember, and this is a little bit of a spoiler.
Warning!
The ending of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons when you're on your own.
That is good.
And it's not really, again, it's not a cutscene, but it kind of is cinematic and kind of, that's
It's a great moment in a video game that doesn't have to do with you beating a boss. or
not
anything.
like, or doing any actual
Yeah.
gameplay because you're not doing
Right,
any
right.
gameplay at all. But
Well, you know what? That makes me think of
emotional
something
punch.
Warning!
the end of To the Moon, like that last
Oh,
part.
definitely.
That's a
Oh, I love
great
that. It's
cutscene.
such a
Yeah,
great game
yeah.
in general.
Um,
Amazing.
yeah.
Game.
So I don't know. I think the opening cutscene in Skyrim, because it's so iconic. When you wake up on the
Yeah,
cart, like that's a
yeah,
really
yeah.
good
You're
opening.
bumping around on the car.
Especially because like Oblivion, it just starts. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not. You don't really have like the fading up from the darkness. I think is really good, but it's not a
Apparently,
great
it was really hard to do that scene.
Well, I'm sure because
The bumping down the road on the car because he kept
Yeah, right,
falling
right.
out and stuff kept going all over the place, and it took him ages to get it programmed so it worked.
Yeah.
Without any
So my
glitches.
two, one's big and one's small. Shall I start with the small one or the big one?
Whichever way you want to go, you just
Okay,
do it.
so I'm gonna start with the small one. In Infamous 2, there's this cutscene and that game is kind of over the top, shooting electricity, riding on the electrical lines, flying around the city, jump. It's like Crackdown, but a little more realistic. Like it's really action. And there's this scene where you hang out with your buddy on the rooftop and just drink a beer. Like that's the whole cutscene. It's
I
like a
remember
minute
that
long.
because he's
You
with his
remember that?
friend, isn't he? He sat with his friend on a deck
and
chair.
it's there's no dialogue.
No.
You're just sitting there, and like I
Yeah.
kept waiting for it to be like someone's gonna make a joke, or like someone's gonna, an enemy's gonna show up and just crash on the roof and start killing people or whatever. It's not. It's you're just sitting there, hanging out, having a
Yeah.
beer.
I remember
It's
that.
such a nice counterpart to the chaos and excitement of the rest of the game. It's a really good example of what you can do when you remember to just take a breath in a game, when the game gives
Yeah.
you something unexpected. And going along with that, like this isn't a cutscene I've ever seen, but I would love to see. It is more to do with level design, but like in Borderlands, you know how a level's gonna go, right? Every map's about the same size. You go in and you fight 200 enemies, and then there's 10 mini bosses along the way, and then you fight a boss at the end, right? That's the way most of these maps go. And a lot of times in these games, it'll say like, all you got to do is break in and grab the drive from the computer. Like it'll take you 2 minutes. And then someone goes like, yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to go that smoothly. And then it never does, right? I would just love for a game to set you up for another level that's got 200 enemies and 10 mini bosses and a big boss at the end. And actually just go in and you just take the drive and that's the end of the level.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that would be very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cool.
the other cutscene that I love, this is like all-time favorites. Not because it would be amazing now, but because it was amazing at the time. And this is a spoiler for the game Riven.
Warning! Warning! Warning!
Yeah, thank you, Chinny, for putting that cutscene up of you and your buddy drinking in Infamous 2. Maybe there is some dialogue. I can't remember. Anyway, in Riven, the sequel to Myst. So Myst had a notoriously, I thought it was a crap ending. I remember I actually wrote in to Cyan when it came out, and I was like, what the fuck is up with this ending? And I didn't actually say it like that, but I was really upset with the ending.
Totally
I
said
wrote
it
them,
like that.
I think it was an email, but anyway, and I got a response. They were like, we're sorry you didn't like it. A lot of our game testers really like the ending, and whatever. Because all you're doing is like, you solve this mystery in Myst, and like you hand the page. You played this, Stu, you know.
I have.
And it's just like, he's like, thank you, come through to Dunny. And then you go to this other place, and he's just like, thank you for your help. I got work to do. And he's just sitting there writing, and that's the end of the game. Like, it's
that is the end of the game. You keep expecting something else to happen, and nothing happens.
Right, nothing. It's so anticlimactic. However, with Riven, I don't know if it's because of my email, but probably.
Totally was.
They have a pretty dramatic end to the game Riven. I don't know if you finished Riven, Stu, but
I've never played. I played the very beginning of it, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, it's really good.
So I just turned it off.
Here's the thing: when you first show up on the island of Riven, you're in this little cage, and there's this knife, a huge version of a knife in the ground. And when you play the game, you see smaller versions of this knife elsewhere. You can pick one up at one point, whatever. You go back to that spot over and over again. You have to adjust certain things near it, and you see it over and over again. And it's just this huge knife in the ground. At the end of the game, you do something that causes that area to like break apart and drift off into space. And that knife goes... And it was so exciting to see this thing that for hours you had just seen. It was part of the scenery. To see it collapse and break away and get destroyed because of what you did. That was so satisfying. And so that's one of the most important cutscenes to me of all time.
There you go. Very good. He says this is his. This is his.
Go ahead.
The one that does it for me, and I still get a lump in my throat as I have it as an audio file on my phone.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise, it's in Mass Effect 2.
All right.
Near the start of the game, the elusive man brings in Joker. You hear a stirring music in the background as Joker and Shep catch up. Then it's revealed by Joker, and he only found out about this last night, that they have a new ship. Cue the lights coming on outside the spaceport, Normandy, SR2.
Okay.
I have a cheer when I saw it the first time. Now the remaster, I actually get a lump in my throat and maybe a tear. I love sci-fi, and for me, it was always about the ships. In Star Wars, the Force can sod off. It was about the X-Wings and the Millennium Falcon. In Star Trek, it was all about the Enterprise and the Defiant. To see the Normandy reborn, wow.
All right.
And it doesn't end there. Because the doors opening and Normandy majestically comes out before going FTL travel.
Yeah.
Brilliant, beautiful. BioWare knew exactly what they were doing. I hope you can play this clip on the show and watch it with me. All the best.
Oh, that's right. He sent it to me, but I didn't download it. Ah, dang it. Sorry.
It's fine.
No, I said I would.
We know what you're like with saying you're doing stuff.
I know. Hang on.
Well, thank you, Armar. At least I read your email, unlike Duke doing his bit.
Yeah,
Just
I know,
saying.
right?
Saying.
No, he didn't send it on this. He sent it.
No.
I think he sent it on Twitter.
Anyway, while you're figuring that out, I'll read the next.
Here we go.
That I think you might like. I hear he's one of the best. Someone you can trust.
This is like a 2-minute clip.
I
I'm
can't
gonna fast forward a
you,
little
Joker.
bit.
Look who's talking. I saw you get spaced.
Got lucky with a lot of strings attached. How'd you get here?
This is weird because I had FemShep, so all these guys talking. I'm not.
I'll tell you what is weird. How wooden it sounds.
Yeah, I know, right?
Commander Express. They aren't all bad. They only told me last night.
There we go. This is it. Oh yeah. See, I didn't remember Mass Effect 1 when I got to this. I was like, okay, I got to show.
No, this is Mass
Effect 2. I guess it really meant a lot to a lot of people. I know. I'm saying like, but when I got to this part in Mass Effect 2, I was like, oh look, it's our ship. I didn't have that emotional connection.
No, I didn't. I'll be honest.
Sorry, Amara, you're alone. It's good music. all these dramatic perspectives. I guess we're gonna get kicked off YouTube if I keep playing it, huh?
Yeah, you totally are.
Sorry.
I'll carry on.
Right.
There
That.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And
Good
the
job.
ship appears. There you
Absolutely.
go. Mm.
Yep.
Oh, bless him. Next
Oh,
event
here's wait.
tonight.
No, I have
Oh,
a different
God.
version of the music here. I can play the different version of the
Oh,
music.
go,
here.
go. Let's hear it.
Here at the Fun Zone, we live by one rule. When it's your birthday, you're always cool. Parents and kids are all the same. Watch as I do a dance to your name.
Wow.
Amar likes Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I thought he'd enjoy that.
Jacinta Heather is the next emailer this evening.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Her name is Jacinta.
And she's entitled this email, Outriders New Horizon.
Okay, Outriders, huh? How about that?
Hey, guys.
I'm a potato.
Hello.
Hi.
I've been a bit down on games for the last few weeks. Bungie are vaulting Forsaken from Destiny 2 next year.
God,
so I've been replaying that as a goodbye. I'm still butthurt that I can never play the original campaign and first two DLCs ever again, even though I paid for them.
Don't worry, they'll sell it to you again in 5 years as like legacy version. Like
Yeah. So as much as I love Destiny 2, I've been trying to find an online looter shooter to replace it.
Looter shooter.
Borderlands 3.
Which brings me to Outriders.
Okay.
I played this a tiny little bit on my Xbox One when it first released on Game Pass, and to be honest, I'm not sure why I didn't stick with it the first time. The other day, it popped up on my dashboard suggestions because they recently released an update called New Horizon, which presumably adds more adorable animal villagers, right? Or maybe fancy cars parachuting from an airplane, or a fiery redhead with some robot dinosaurs.
Beep boop, robot dinosaur.
Anyways, People Can Fly have responded to fan feedback by removing timers on expeditions. They've also added an intuitive and accessible transformation system, whatever the hell that is. What is that?
I don't have any.
Transmogrification.
It's when Calvin changed himself into a little version of Tiger.
Okay, well, anyway, they've added one of those. That's basically a massive fuck you to Bungie. Released one in last season of Destiny 2. That was a complete joke.
Nice.
On the Xbox One, Outriders was a good game and ran just fine, but on Series S, it's genuinely amazing. It truly feels next gen. The graphics are gorgeous. The animations and frame rate are buttery smooth. It's just a lot of super unabashedly gamey fun. I like that.
But I remember that demo being so grimdark and like everything's shit. There's just torture and death everywhere. And I mean, I'm glad to hear it's fun. Maybe I should try it. It was on sale for like $10 recently. I was like, damn, that got cheap quick.
I left it on the easiest tier of difficulty and played through the entire campaign in a few sittings.
Okay.
The story has an excellent plot, good pacing, and actually makes fucking sense. The characters are unique, the cutscenes are interesting without being laborious, and the combat is brilliant. And it doesn't throw any random annoying puzzles at one-off mechanics that trip you up. The gameplay is enjoyably predictable, whilst the narrative is interesting and surprising. The pacing feels just about right, and it's genuinely good science fiction stories, beginning to end. I actually enjoyed every moment of this game.
That says a lot.
It's next-gen Gears of War, but you can cast spells, and there's an end game to grind through if you want it.
Dude.
As a side note, I tried being normal with this one gamer tag. It didn't work out. I'm back on my elusive and ethereal ways. Surely, ephemeral. Sorry, by the way, I sound like ephemeral.
That's okay.
Ways. Pretty sure I've got some in real life identity issues at the core of all this, but hey, whatever. I can't be fucked unpacking them. Question. So she's back on the changing a gamer tag all the time. Question. You get to turn one video game into a television series or vice versa. Which do you choose and why?
I think that if you did it right, it could be very interesting to make a GTA style game with a very good story out of The Wire. Like give us a season 6 where like Mike and Randy and Duquan are like in the streets. And yeah, I think that could be very interesting.
Have you got to sell cocaine in the game? Is that what you got to do?
Well, maybe they find some other way to make money instead of
shoot people in the face. You got to shoot people in the face, surely.
Maybe they start a recording studio and they're doing hip hop instead of selling drugs.
Nope.
Like
Maybe they're
Eazy-E
selling
did.
drugs and shooting people in the face.
Could be.
Because
That
I
would
don't think
probably be more
Chinny
exciting as a
would
game.
want to
It would be
play a
hard to-
game
Right,
where
I
he
know, I know,
where
I
he
hear you.
starts up a recording studio. Chinny, would you want to play that?
Well, I mean, if there's goddamn lawnmower simulator, anything's possible for a fun game.
No, I guess. But if you're basing a game on a TV show that has people shooting each other in the face,
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's not
guessing
just
that's
people
what you
shooting each
gotta
other in the
do.
face, and that there's also people opening boxing rings and, longshoremen unloading cargo. There's a lot of stuff going on the wire.
So what about video game to movie or TV show?
TV series.
Hmm.
I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, I'd like to see. Well, I don't know. Would Portal make a good TV show?
Well, I did
Maybe.
think that, but I don't know
In
how
the
the
right
hell
hands.
you would do it.
Well, you'd
And
have
what
to do an
sort of TV
episodic
show would
science
it
fiction
be?
thing, where here's what you do. You make it Black Mirror style in that the shows aren't related to each other, but you really have fun with it because you put the portal gun into the hands of a different type of person every week or every episode. So that one time it's bank robbers and they just go nuts. Like, they could do some really interesting things with the portal gun to rob banks. And then another time you have it with, like, an assassin and he uses it to kill people in very creative ways. And then another time you use it for, like, human rights workers trying to get landmines out or something. I don't know. You be
What
creative with it.
about if you just want to get to work quicker?
There you go. You have one person who's like, I got to get to work. And, like, they don't even think about the fact that they could be avoiding work altogether with this portal gun.
No, you just get out of bed and walk through the portal and you're wherever you work.
There you go.
See? How
But
much
then
better would
you
that be?
find out that someone took it and they put it right over the toilet. So you step into work,
Oh,
you're in the
see?
toilet.
Comedy moment. Comedy.
Damn it, Steve.
Comedy. Chinny, what about you? Video games to film, TV shows to video games. Is Chinny gone? Has he died?
No, he's there. He's just wiping his nose. He's undergoing a process of desnotification.
What about, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Curb Your Enthusiasm for a Telltale game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you've
be
got to try not to say, like, the worst thing ever.
But all the other options are not impossible to click on, so you end up saying the worst thing ever.
What about?
Ooh, they should make a Simpsons video game. That would be cool.
What about?
You could do a cop show with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Is that it?
That's all I've got.
You're done?
That's all
You're
I've
done. I think, you know what I think would make a really good video game in VR? Because I'm
tell.
going to go VR because I'm keeping it modern.
Go ahead.
Right? A sort of small, I think it was Australian. So this is perfect for Jacinta. Sci-fi movie called The Cube.
Oh, yeah. Australia! Yeah, I remember that movie. That was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think that'd make a great VR game where you've got to try and escape from the cube and every, obviously, room's booby-trapped.
Right.
And you've got to figure out what the trap is.
Yeah.
So, like, puzzle game, but with certain death mixed into
Certain
the...
death.
Yeah, certain death mixed
Saw
into
the
the
game.
mix.
Yeah.
And obviously you have all your the people with you are all like specialists in something and you have to use them to get the solution to each puzzle.
And the stupid idiot is the one who makes it out.
Exactly.
I guess I should have played that before I gave the spoiler for Cube.
Yeah.
The movie
And it
from
was
1995.
by the way, that movie was so low budget, they only had one cube.
Yeah, exactly. They only have
That's
one
all they had.
magic cube.
They had one
It
cube.
looks like they have 20 of them.
Yeah, well, 30 of them, but it's just one.
Right.
It's just one.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. And a video game to movie, Dear Esther, because that's such a good.
Oh, fuck's sake. It is a movie. What are you talking about? Worst answer ever. I'll tell you what I would like. I would like a TV show that shows what's going on in Skyrim while the Civil War and the Dovahkiin stuff is going on. It's just ordinary people on a farm. And it's like, just interesting stories about their lives. And then every once in a while, the Dovahkiin comes running through. He's like, oh, out of my way. The giant's chasing me. And you're just like, there he goes again.
Yeah. Or
Kill those dragons.
he's just crouching, walking in circles, trying to get his stealth up.
Or he's walking very, very slowly. Like, what are you doing, Dovahkiin? He's like, I got to get back to Whiterun to sell all this stuff. Do you want to buy 17 swords? No. All right. Goodbye.
Well, I can't see you carrying anything. No, but it's in me.
It's inside of me.
She did put, by the way, the teacher in me has said to always include and the why. So why would you make? But I think we pretty much covered that, didn't we? Duke will understand. We
yes,
pretty much
I do
said
understand.
why.
You're a nerd.
That's right.
All teachers
Jacinta.
are nerds, and nerds are cool. So thank you, Jacinta.
And then she did send us a second email.
Oh, all right. Second email. Let's hear it.
Outriders New Horizon continued. And she said, oops, I forgot an important point. People Can Fly have definitely stated that Outriders will not be using a game as a service model.
Oh,
which I'm generally okay with, as it's becoming a problematic industry standard. But in this instance, I'm devastated. I totally paid
Jacinta, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is, Jacinta. That's just the way it is. You should just accept it. That's the way it is.
No, but she said she'd like it, though. She said, in this instance, I'm devastated because I totally paid for the grind and shit out of a battle pass for this game.
Well, don't
it's
tell them
just so fucking good. So there you go.
Fair enough.
So she
I'm glad
wants
you
it.
like it.
Doesn't matter with you.
Okay.
You're
That's
the
a good
problem.
sign, though. Maybe they'll do an Outriders too.
No, maybe she's the problem.
There's nothing wrong with an
Problem.
Outriders of doing like a second thing. Like, I don't know.
No,
I
that'll
didn't
be
mind the model of like, here's a sequel to this game that you love.
Then the last thing we got tonight, we have one speak pipe from our friend Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Speak pipe! Speak pipe!
Speak pipe! It's the way to leave a message
it's
for
crap.
us.
Sorry, who's this from?
Derek.
Derek. Sounds like a great guy.
I realized there's a second Brooklyn Nine-Nine sound clip for Derek, because we all know the usual one.
Derek.
But in season 2, episode 1, when Charles Boyle is grilling Jake Peralta about what friends he made while he was in the mafia undercover, Jake is like, well, I guess I did a couple of jobs with a guy named Derek. And Charles goes,
Derek. Sounds like a great guy.
And then he won't drop it for the rest of the episode. He's like, who's this Derek guy? He's like, Charles, don't do this. So there you go, Derek. I found a second quote for your name from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Derek. Sounds like a great guy.
He is a great guy. So here comes the speak pipe from Derek. I'm going to play it.
Eventually.
Well, as soon as it loads.
Yeah.
1 minute, 30 seconds. Here we go.
Hello, Veteran Gamers. It's Derek Scenes back again. Next week, I will send you my quiz that I've got lined up as the final one before Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas one will be a Christmas movie quiz, but I'll keep under wraps for now what next week's quiz will be.
Okay.
Ooh.
But for this week, I just wanted to talk a little bit. If you couldn't already tell, I've got quite a head cold for the last 7 or 8 days.
Oh, no, everyone's
I've been
sick.
sneezing, coughing, got a very scratchy throat. My nose has been streaming quite a lot. I feel stuffed up in the top of my head. And I just thought all of you are from fairly different backgrounds. So do you or your family have any recommended treatments for the common cold? I know that these days the situation with COVID and the rest means that if you display symptoms of what used to be known as the common cold, people maybe treat you a little bit differently or a little bit more warily if you're coughing or sneezing, whatever. But do you mainly sort of have recommendations like towel over the head and steam and bowl of water? Maybe just a drink of rum with some honey in it, which is what someone at work suggested, which I think was just their excuse to have some alcohol. Or maybe just some strong throat lozenges, maybe some chicken soup, maybe just bathe in hot, steamy water infused with their garlic, which probably doesn't do much for your social life, but might cure your cold, maybe. So that's a question. Have you got any recommendations for getting rid of a cold? So keep on keep on gaming. Until next time.
Nice. Thank you, Derek. It's funny you mentioned the thing with the bowl of water. My mom did that when I was growing up, but I never really thought about it or never really cared about it. I never thought it was very useful. And then I had a cold a couple of years back, and I thought I'd give it a try, and it actually did help. It doesn't cure the cold, but it does certainly, I don't know, because I realized if I took a shower when I had a cold, that would help me feel better because the steam sort of, clears
provides
up your head.
relief.
Yeah, exactly. So I did it, and ever since I did it, it made me feel, not it didn't make me feel all better, but it provided some relief. And now every time I get a cold, I do it. And I'll say this about colds. Well, first of all, I'll also say my grandmother used to make really good chicken noodle soup when I was sick, so I have good associations with that. But vegetarian, not really an option anymore. But good ramen, that can do the trick. And matzo ball soup is also very good when you have a cold. My wife makes awesome matzo ball soup. Duchess, she rocks. Anyway, she's making Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. The only good things about the pandemic is that my students who have colds now all have masks in front of their faces. So they're not spewing their germs all over the classroom like they usually do. So in a way, I don't want students to ever come to school without masks on because it keeps me. I haven't had a cold. I didn't have a cold last year, and I haven't had one this year yet. Usually, I get a cold right away when cold season starts.
Exactly.
So fingers crossed, man. Stay the hell away from me.
Here's my advice: don't waste your money on all that shit because it won't make any difference, man. You just have to wait for your body to get rid of it.
A bowl of water with hot boiling water.
No, but he was saying about throat lozenges and all that kind of crap.
Well,
the only thing
I do like a good Ricola cough drop. Those are nice.
The only thing I would invest in, and my brother-in-law told me about this, and then I'd heard of them, but never really thought about trying them, is get yourself some menthol crystals, which are really cheap. They're about £2, and you put a couple of those in your steamy bowl of water, and I'll tell you what, it make your fucking eyes water and clear your nose quick smart. But they're super cheap. They're just like, they come in a little tub, and they're called menthol crystals. Don't put too many in, though, because boy, oh boy, they are strong.
Yeah.
But you just drop them in your hot water, put your head over with the towel and all that stuff, and breathe it all in.
Cool.
And it will. And the other thing is the Vicks inhaler, but not the tubey one. There used to be one that you squirt up, and that used to keep my nose clear for bloody hours before you had it. But it was horrible to do, but it worked a treat, clearing your nose. So there
Chinny, how do you deal with a cold?
Advice.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I have, it isn't a cold. It's allergies. So
allergies.
My nose will just get triggered by something. Sometimes it's pollen. Sometimes it's cut grass. Sometimes it's dust. Sometimes it's smoke. But basically, my nose will just sort of react and then go on this mad defensive, fuck. So the only thing that
kind
cures
of similar symptoms, though.
The only thing that cures it really is steroids. So like a steroid injection is the only thing that stops it. Literally nothing stops it. So I've tried everything to get rid of this. Like when I've got a cold, it's different. I can tell when I've got a cold and when I've got this. This is just my nose and face won't stop running and aching and hurting and just sneezing. I'd sneeze like 5 times in a row and all this. So the only thing really that cures this when I don't have the steroids is like hot sweets help. They offer relief. Steamy bowl, like a hot shower, that kind of stuff offers a bit of relief. But the biggest thing really is sleep and rest. Like there's foods that contain natural antihistamines, like so citrus fruits, vegetables. They all contain natural antihistamines because it stops the inflammation of your sinuses and stuff. So if I had like pineapple today, and it sort of just offers, it never gets rid of it, it never stops it, but it offers a bit of relief. But sleep will probably be I've read up on it. It's like sleep is like the best thing that you can do is just like go to sleep, because your body's sort of resting and it's not trying to fight things, and it's not reacting to all the sort of things that your nose is doing. And like sometimes a good night's sleep will actually just like knock it out. I'll feel a lot better, but it'll still be there, but it'll be in a better place where I'm not sort of. Basically, I'll get a bad day of this now, whereas before, when I was younger, I used to get like a week or two of it, but now I get a good day or two of just this, and it just sometimes it just falls on the worst day, like a weekend where I'm like trying to enjoy myself, and it never happens.
That sucks. I hate that. Yeah, when I'm so down over the week.
But I don't get it that often, but this year I've got it more often. I've had it quite a few times this year for some reason. Because people go, how can you have allergies? Like it's not even sunny. It's not hay fever. It's like, but it's the exact same thing as hay fever for me. But it's like in the middle of like autumn. I was like, "Oh, how can you have it?" It was like, it's just my nose reacts to stuff, like it just does.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And the only thing that can stop it is an injection that if I have too much of it, will just make my bones very brittle, so I can't have it. So yeah, that's the way. But if I think I'm a big proponent of rest. I think rest is like a really great way of making yourself feel better.
man.
Sometimes you don't want to, but
Well,
I
it will
think
because it gives your body a chance to repair, doesn't
Yeah.
it, and repel whatever it is that's bothering you.
if I'm ill or whatever, I just think rest is the best thing. Like it's tough because sometimes you're not that tired or whatever, so you've got to do something to try and knock it out. But rest, I do believe in drugs as well. It's like
Drugs.
Yeah.
I just
Drugs.
think like I know. I if I have a headache, I take paracetamol. If I have this, I have that. I just take whatever medication I've got to take, and just get on with it and rest. So that's it's the simple stuff.
The simple stuff that works. So there you go. Get some menthol crystals, save your money, and sleep a lot. There you go. That's the answer. Right, we need to do some shout outs. We can get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I think it's time for some shout outs.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
There you go. So, who's going first?
I'll go
I think
first.
it should
I'll
be-
go first. Shout
Yeah,
out to
go
my
for it.
brother for taking me out to the Pit Pat Golf. We all had fun.
Yay.
Shout out to the chef in the Korean restaurant for not doing anything. Shout out to little baby Thea. That's my new niece, and she's adorable. And we was playing with her today and yesterday. That's it, really.
That's it. I'm just going to shout out everybody who's given my mix this week a listen. If you've been playing games with it in the background, because it's perfect for that.
It is. I agree. It's a good mix.
And it's basically a mix from all the tunes on San Fierro radio on San Andreas.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Classic.
And I'm thinking of doing a Wipeout one, Duke.
Okay.
I
That
do
was
a
a good
Wipeout
soundtrack,
mix.
so do
Yeah,
it.
so some
I
good
would
stuff
listen.
on there.
Yeah.
So that's me done. That's about it for me. And
Yeah.
everybody who listens, whatever. And over to you, Duke.
Yeah, shout out to the people in the chat here. 66, Darren Sims, Soul Brother number 1, prating about Gavlar. Shout out to Jacinta for writing in. Shout out to Jason Gullahar for being a ride or die with the podcast. Shout out to Derek Sainz for being awesome enough to have 2 different sound clips. Not a lot of people have that.
Derek, sounds like a great guy.
And shout out to anyone listening in Liverpool. There was some terrorist incident there recently, so that sucks. So stay strong, Liverpool.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody who is playing Borderlands these days, because I'm enjoying Borderlands 3. So thumbs up.
There you go. And that's it, I guess. So we need to get the hell out of here. So
Thanks
good
for
night,
listening,
everybody. and
everybody.
thank
If you like this podcast, there is another site you should check out, which is called VGHub.net.
Check out VGHub.net.
Really? 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 Really?
Well, I want to show them and all the young hustlers out there. You can do anything if you fight hard enough. You just gotta try. Don't let.
There you go.
Yeah, huh?
There you go. Well, thank
There
you
you go.
guys.
Yeah.
Any
And
ideas?
it looks like
for
the
a-
recording did not cut off halfway through this time.
Excellent. Any
Yay.
ideas for a title, Chinny? I have no idea.
Snotty Nose and the Duke.
Snotty Nose.
Snotty Nose, Angry Duke, and Stu's Love Songs.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Peanut Chicky.
Peanut Chicky. There you go. I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll
Right,
stop
I've got to.
recording.
I've got to go. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
feel better,
tired.
Chinny. Have a good week.
Yeah,
y'all.
feel better soon. See
I
you
only got
later.
2 days of
Have a
school
good
this
day.
week because it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, what?
Yeah, get you.
I should have said that on the podcast.
Yeah, you
All
should.
right, peace out.
See ya.
Peace out. Good night, everybody. Good night,
Bye.
Chinny. See you.
Bye.
Oh, you feeling better next week?
Thanks, mate.
All righty. Speak to you soon.
Bye.